All right, guys. Welcome back. We are almost live. Going to take a look at Instagram right now, waiting for IG to go live. YouTube is live and IG is live. And now we're up and running. Here we go. All right, guys. Welcome back. Welcome to your morning medication. And I'm your host, Medi. And we're going to kick it off, guys. We got a few things that happened this morning already that I'm going to go ahead and get started for you guys right away. We have Pete Hegseth and Trump addressing the generals that have all come together. Everyone's wondering, why are all the generals coming together? Well, we're going to find out. Good morning, State Line. Good morning, man. Appreciate you jumping on. All right. And we're going to get this started real quick. We have, again, you can see here we got Pete. Here we go. Here's Pete Hegseth. Let me zoom out for you guys so you can see that. And we're gonna kick this off in a second. So we got Hegseth, we got President Trump, and we're gonna start it off right here. It looks like they're gonna be talking about something about diversity in the military and a few other things. Let me pull this up here. And let's see. I'm a fan. Yep. I'm a fan already. His speech hit on the soldier and patriot in me. Awesome, bro. Awesome. Aquarium, good morning, bro. Thanks for jumping on. And we are going to start it off with I believe, a general here.
All right. Generals, admirals, senior leaders, good morning. Wow, what a group here today. I will tell you that our enemies are terrified right now that we are all in the same room, and that is a true statement. Welcome, everyone, to Marine Corps Base Quantico and the first ever Key Leaders All Call. To the Commandant and all of the Marines that have made this event possible, thank you. This was no small feat to put this event together in short order, and I'm glad there's pull-up bars just outside. The SEALs in the corner out there are very happy about that. I regret to inform you there will not be a PT test after this event because I know you all would.
Dang it. I would love to see it.
I had the privilege of joining the Secretary and the Joint Chiefs in honoring 50 Gold Star families at the White House as the President, the First Lady, and our nation honored their loved ones' service and sacrifices. Teammates, it was a quiet and deeply meaningful event that reminded all of us that were lucky enough to be there of the serious and unforgiving nature of the business that we are in, fighting and winning our nation's wars. Leaders, we are living in dynamic and potentially dangerous times. Global risk is on the rise. Our adversaries are no longer aligning, they are aligned. And we must align with equal resolve and unity. Even as we strive for and seek peace, we must be prepared for war. Now, more than ever, it is vital that we hear from our civilian leaders, understand where they're taking the department and the joint force. And today, we have the unprecedented opportunity and honor to hear directly from the Secretary of War and our Commander-in-Chief. Together, you and I and our civilian leaders have the honor of leading the finest military in the world. And we must seize every opportunity every day to prepare our joint force for the future. I am deeply humbled to serve with each and every one of you. And now it is my distinct honor to introduce our nation's Secretary of War, the Honorable Pete Hegseth.
State Line, he said that our adversaries are aligned. They're not aligning anymore. They're already aligned. Did they say anything about that?
Please take your seats. Mr. Chairman, the Joint Chiefs, generals, admirals, commanders, officers, senior enlisted, NCOs, enlisted, and every member of our American military.
I'm going to turn this up if I can.
Good morning and welcome to the War Department, because the era of the Department of Defense is over. You see, the motto of my first platoon was, "Those who long for peace must prepare for war." This is, of course, not a new idea. This crowd knows that. The origin dates to the 4th century Rome and has been repeated ever since, including by our first commander-in-chief, George Washington, the first leader of the War Department. It captures a simple yet profound truth. To ensure peace, we must prepare for war. From this moment forward, the only mission of the newly restored Department of War is this: warfighting, preparing for war and preparing to win, unrelenting and uncompromising in that pursuit. Not because we want war, no one here wants war, but it's because we love peace. We love peace for our fellow citizens. They deserve peace, and they rightfully expect us to deliver it. Our number one job, of course, is to be strong so that we can prevent war in the first place. The president talks about it all the time. It's called peace through strength. And as history teaches us, the only people who actually deserve peace are those who are willing to wage war to defend it. That's why pacifism is so naive and dangerous. It ignores human nature and it ignores human history. Either you protect your people and your sovereignty, or you will be subservient to something or someone. It's a truth as old as time. And since waging war is so costly in blood and treasure, we owe our republic a military that will win any war we choose, or any war that is thrust upon us. Should our enemies choose foolishly to challenge us, they will be crushed by the violence, precision, and ferocity of the War Department. In other words, to our enemies, FAFO.
Yeah, straight up. FAFO,
Necessary,
baby.
our troops can translate that.
FAFO.
Another way to put it is peace through strength, brought to you by the warrior ethos.
Good morning,
And
Tibble
we
Kane.
are restoring both. As President
I always say on the channel, I say, listen, you guys, from outside, we look like we're divided, but it's because we argue and debate fiercely, and because we have freedom of speech. But when if any country knows damn well, you do not want to unite us as Americans against you. We'll be your worst nightmare, and we are Americans first. We love each other, and we will defend each other. And you do not want to give us a reason to come together against you. Don't do it. And so this is a FAFO.
President Trump has said, and he's right, we have the strongest, most powerful, most lethal, and most prepared military on the planet. That is true, full stop. Nobody can touch us. It's not even close. This is true largely because of the historic investments that he made in his first term, and we will continue in this term. But it's also true because of the leaders in this room and the incredible troops that you all lead.
So if you guys aren't aware, he's talking to the generals, just giving you a little info on that. So they got all the they got all the generals together, and they're addressing all the generals right now at this moment. This just happened like moments ago, so I'm replaying it, so I'm able to pause and go through it. So while we're watching it, so we got Hegseth now, and we got Trump coming up right after.
But the world, and as the chairman mentioned, our enemies get a vote. You feel it, I feel it. This is a moment of urgency, mounting urgency. Enemies gather, threats grow. There is no time for games. We must be prepared. If we're going to prevent and avoid war, we must prepare now. We are the strength part of peace through strength. And either we're ready to win or we are not. You see, this urgent moment, of course, requires more troops, more munitions, more drones, more Patriots, more submarines, more B-21 bombers. It requires more innovation, more AI in everything and ahead of the curve. More cyber effects, more counter-UAS, more space, more speed. America is the strongest, but we need to get stronger and quickly. The time is now, and the cause is urgent. The moment requires restoring and refocusing our defense industrial base, our shipbuilding industry, and onshoring all critical components. It requires, as President Trump has done, getting our allies and partners to step up and share the burden. America cannot do everything. The free world requires allies with real hard power, real military leadership, and real military capabilities. The War Department is tackling and prioritizing all of these things. And I'll be giving a speech next month that'll showcase the speed, innovation, and generational acquisition reforms we are undertaking urgently. Likewise, the nature of the threats we face in our hemisphere and in deterring China is another speech for another day, coming soon. This speech today, as I drink my coffee.
As I drink my coffee.
This speech today is about people, and it's about culture. The topic today is about the nature of ourselves. Because no plan, no program, no reform, no formation will ultimately succeed unless we have the right people and the right culture at the War Department. If I've learned one core lesson in my 8 months in this job, it's that personnel is policy. Personnel is policy. The best way to take care of troops is to give them good leaders committed to the warfighting culture of the department. Not perfect leaders, good leaders. Competent, qualified, professional, agile, aggressive, innovative, risk-taking, apolitical, faithful to their oath and to the Constitution. Eugene Sledge, in his World War II memoir, wrote, quote, "War is brutish, inglorious, and a terrible waste. Combat leaves an indelible mark on those who are forced to endure it. The only redeeming factors are my comrades' incredible bravery and their devotion to each other." In combat, there are thousands of variables, as I learned in Iraq and Afghanistan, and as so many of you did in so many more places. Leaders can only control about 3 of them. You control how well you're trained, mostly how well you're equipped, and the last variable is how well you lead. After that, you're on your own. Our warfighters are entitled to be led by the best and most capable leaders. That is who we need you all to be. Even then, in combat, even if you do everything right, you may still lose people because the enemy always gets a vote. We have a sacred duty to ensure that our warriors are led by the most capable and qualified combat leaders. This is one thing you and I can control, and we owe it to the force to deliver it. For too long, we have simply not done that. The military has been forced by foolish and reckless politicians to focus on the wrong things. In many ways, this speech is about fixing decades of decay. Some of it obvious, some of it hidden. Or as the chairman has put it, we are clearing out the debris, removing the distractions, clearing the way for leaders to be leaders. You might say we're ending the war on warriors. I heard someone wrote a book about that. For too long, we've promoted too many uniformed leaders for the wrong reasons.
Chris, I'm trying to turn it up a little bit. Let me know if it gets better. Let me see if I can make it
based on their
louder.
race, based on gender quotas.
It's unfortunately low. Their sound is low, so I'm doing my best to turn it up.
Based on historic so-called firsts. We've pretended that combat arms and non-combat arms are the same thing. We've weeded out so-called toxic leaders under the guise of double-blind psychology assessments.
Is that better?
Promoting risk-averse, go-along-to-get-along conformists instead. You name it, the department did it. Foolish and reckless political leaders set the wrong compass heading.
Okay, cool.
and we lost our way. We became the woke department.
Ooh, here we go.
Right now, I'm looking out at a sea of Americans who made a choice
Here we go.
when they were young men and young women
He's about to trigger half of you guys in the chat right now. Here we go.
to do
me
something
put that back.
most
Hold on.
leaders set the wrong compass heading,
Here we go.
and we lost our way. We became the woke department,
The woke department.
but not anymore. Right now, I'm looking out at a sea of Americans who made a choice when they were young men and young women to do something most Americans will not, to serve something greater than yourselves, to fight for God and country, for freedom and the Constitution. You made a choice to serve when others did not, and I commend you. You are truly the best of America. But this does not mean, and this goes for all of us, that our path to this auditorium on this day was a straight line, or that the conditions of the formations we lead are where we want them to be.
He just triggered everybody
You love
in the
your
chat.
country, and we love this uniform,
Woo.
which is why we must do better. We just have to be honest. We have to say with our mouths what we see with our eyes.
Let's
To
hear
just
it.
tell it like it is in plain English.
Let's hear it.
To point out the obvious things right in front of us. That's what leaders must do.
Let's
We
hear
cannot go another day without directly addressing the plank in our own eye, without addressing the problems in our own commands and in our own formations. This administration has done a great deal from day one to remove the social justice, politically correct, and toxic ideological garbage that had infected our department, to rip out the politics. No more identity months, DEI offices, dudes in dresses.
Ooh, he's triggering you guys right now, bro. This chat's about to blow up. Oh, here we go. Hold on, let me put
No
it
more
back
climate
one sec.
change. The politics.
Here we go.
No more identity months, DEI offices, dudes in dresses. No more climate change worship. No more division, distraction, or gender delusions. No more debris. As I've said before, and will say again, we are done with that shit.
Ooh, no more dudes in dresses in the military, bro. No more DEI. We are done with that shit, he says. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo.
Made it my mission to uproot the obvious distractions that made us less capable and less lethal. That said, the War Department
Let's go.
requires the next step.
Okay.
Underneath the woke garbage is a deeper problem, and a more important problem that we are fixing and fixing fast. Common sense is back at the White House, so making the necessary changes is actually pretty straightforward. President Trump expects it. And the litmus test for these changes is pretty simple. Would I want my eldest son, who is 15 years old, eventually joining the types of formations that we are currently wielding? If in any way the answer to that is no, or even yes, but, then we're doing something wrong. Because my son is no more important than any other American citizen who dons the cloth of our nation. He is no more important than your son. All precious souls made in the image and likeness of God. Every parent deserves to know that their son or their daughter that joins our ranks is entering exactly the kind of unit that the Secretary of War would want his son to join. Think of it as the golden rule test. Jesus said, "Do unto others that which you would have done unto yourself." It's the ultimate simplifying test of truth. The new War Department golden rule is this: do unto your unit as you would have done unto your own child's unit. Would you want him serving with fat or unfit or undertrained troops? Or alongside people who can't meet basic standards? Or in a unit where standards were lowered so certain types of troops could make it in? In a unit where leaders were promoted for reasons other than merit?
I like this right here. State Line says we can beat anyone we commit to, as long as we leave the politics out of it, like OIF, OEF. I don't know what that means. If you can, let us know. No country trains harder than us. No country is more disciplined than us. That is our true strength. And the fact that we will back each other up to the death, bro. We love each other. We argue fiercely. We debate fiercely. But we will back each other up, and we will protect each other.
And war fighting? The answer is not just no, it's hell no. This means at the War Department, first and foremost, we must restore a ruthless, dispassionate, and common sense application of standards. I don't want my son serving alongside troops who are out of shape, or in combat unit with females who can't meet the same combat arms physical standards as men.
Agreed.
Or troops who are not fully proficient on their assigned weapons, platform, or task.
Agreed. I'm going to put that back because I agree with all that. I went through training myself, and I know I don't want that either. Anybody that's been put in OIF means Operation Iraq Freedom. OEF, Operation Enduring Freedom. Got it. Thank you for that clarification. Hell yeah.
Or under a leader who was the first, but not the best. Standards must be uniform, gender neutral,
I agree with,
and high. If not, they're not standards. They're just suggestions. Suggestions that get our sons and daughters killed. When it comes to combat arms units, and there are many different stripes across our joint force, the era of politically correct, overly sensitive, don't hurt anyone's feelings leadership ends right now.
Hell yeah. Yeah, baby.
At every level. Either you can meet the standard, either you can do the job, either you are disciplined, fit, and trained, or you are out.
Straight up.
And that's why today, at my direction, and this is the first of 10 Department of War directives that are arriving at your commands as we speak and in your inbox. Today, at my direction, each service will ensure that every requirement for every combat MOS, for every designated combat arms position, returns to the highest male standard only. Because this job is life or death. Standards must be met. And not just met, at every level, we should seek to exceed the standard, to push the envelope, to compete. It's common sense.
Yep.
And core to who we are and what we do, it should be in our DNA.
Yep.
Today, at my direction, we are also adding a combat field test for combat arms units that must be executable in any environment at any time and with combat equipment.
By anyone.
These tests, they'll look familiar. They'll resemble the Army Expert Physical Fitness Assessment or the Marine Corps Combat Fitness Test. I'm also directing that warfighters in combat jobs execute their service fitness test at a gender-neutral, age-normed male standard scored above 70%. It all starts with physical fitness and appearance. If the Secretary of War can do regular, hard PT, so can every member of our joint force.
Yeah, why not?
Frankly,
of course.
It's tiring to look out at combat formations, or really any formation, and see fat troops. Likewise, it's completely unacceptable to see fat generals and admirals in the halls of the Pentagon.
I agree. It's completely unacceptable to see fat troops. It makes no sense. There should be no reason, especially when you're going to be going potentially to protect each other. I don't want to be out there with someone that's out of shape and fat and sloppy and he doesn't have his shit together. Come on, man. 100% agree.
Leading commands around the country and the world. It's a bad look. It is bad, and it's not who we are.
And same thing with generals. No fat generals. Love it. No fat generals. Let's put that back. Hold on.
So can every member of our joint force. Frankly, it's tiring to look out at combat formations, or really any formation, and see fat troops. Likewise, it's completely unacceptable to see fat generals and admirals in the halls of the Pentagon and leading commands around the country and the world. It's a bad look. It is bad and it's not who we are.
And it's not who we are.
So whether you're an airborne ranger or a chairborne ranger, A brand new private or a 4-star general, you need
Airborne, whether you're an airborne ranger or a chairborne ranger. That's the first time I've heard
to
that.
meet the height and weight standards and pass your PT test.
I got to put this back, bro. I love
As the chairman
this.
said, yes, there is
And it's going to trigger all you guys in the chat. Hold on, put
But
this
to this
back.
fitness test at a gender-neutral, age-normed male standard scored above 70%. It all starts with physical fitness and appearance.
Here we go.
If the Secretary of War can do regular, hard PT, so can every member of our joint force. Frankly, it's tiring to look out at combat formations, or really any formation, and see fat troops. Likewise, it's completely unacceptable to see fat generals and admirals in the halls of the Pentagon and leading commands around the country and the world. It's a bad look. It is bad, and it's not who we are. So whether you're an airborne ranger or a chairborne ranger, a brand new private or a 4-star general, you need to meet the height and weight standards and pass your PT test.
100%
As the
agree.
chairman said, yes, there is no PT test. But today, at my direction, every member of the joint force at every rank is required to take a PT test twice
Someone in the chat says start with Hegseth. Yeah. Did you see Hegseth? You can't do as many pull-ups as Hegseth. Probably as long as you
a
live.
year, as well as meet height and weight requirements
Yeah.
twice a year, every year of service. Also today, at my direction, every warrior across our joint force is required to do PT every duty day. Should be common sense. I mean, most units do that already,
Yeah.
but we're
I do.
codifying it. And we're not talking like hot yoga and stretching.
I was in the gym yesterday. I'm going to the gym right after this live stream, guys. And I'll do it another 3 more days this week. Are you going to the gym this week?
Real hard PT, either as a unit or as an individual. At every level, from the Joint Chiefs to everyone in this room to the youngest private, leaders set the standard. And so many of you do this already. Active, guard, and reserve. This also means grooming standards. No more beards, long hair, superficial individual.
Every day, baby. Love it. Wheelie Factory every day, baby. Let's go, baby. I don't do 7 days. I do 5, sometimes 4 in the gym. I've been through training. I've been through the academy. I've been through a lot of stuff. Dude, you got to be on your toes, bro. You can't mess around. You can't get sloppy.
Expression. We're going to cut our hair, shave our beards, and adhere to standards. Because it's like the broken windows theory of policing. It's like when you let the small stuff go, the big stuff eventually goes. So you have to address the small
Jacob,
stuff.
hell yeah.
This is on duty, in the field, and in the rear. If you want a beard, you can join Special Forces. If not, then shave. We don't have a military full of Nordic pagans. But unfortunately, we have had leaders who either refuse to call BS and enforce standards, or leaders who felt like they were not allowed.
Damn, he said no to the beard, guys. Oh, no. Oh.
To enforce standards. Both are unacceptable. And that's why today, at my direction, the era of unprofessional appearance is over. No more beardos.
No more
The era
beardos.
of rampant and ridiculous shaving profiles is done. Simply put, if you do not meet the male-level physical standards for combat positions, cannot pass a PT test, or don't want to shave and look professional, it's time for a new position or a new profession. I sincerely appreciate the proactive efforts the secretaries have already taken in some of those areas, service secretaries. And these directives are intended to simply accelerate those efforts.
And guys, just a heads up, Trump's up right after Hegseth.
On the topic of standards, allow me a few words to talk about toxic leaders. Upholding and demanding high standards is not toxic. Enforcing high standards, not toxic leadership. Leading warfighters toward the goals of high, gender-neutral, and uncompromising standards in order to forge a cohesive, formidable.
At least we have someone here that's honest. She says, and no homo. I already got myself a nice girl, but Seppi Lisa says he is good looking. I've heard that from many girls that are being honest. Yeah, Pete is so cute. Seppi says, love it, dude. Love it, love it. Here we go.
And lethal Department of War is not toxic. It is our duty, consistent with our constitutional oath. Real toxic leadership is endangering subordinates with low standards. Real toxic leadership is promoting people based on immutable characteristics or quotas instead of based on merit. Real toxic leadership is promoting destructive ideologies that are an anathema to the Constitution and the laws of nature and nature's God, as Thomas Jefferson wrote in the Declaration of Independence. The definition of toxic has been turned upside down, and we're correcting that. That's why today, at my direction, we're undertaking a full review of the department's definitions of so-called toxic leadership, bullying, and hazing, to empower leaders to enforce standards without fear of retribution or second-guessing. Of course, you can't do like nasty bullying and hazing. We're talking about words like bullying and hazing and toxic. They've been weaponized and bastardized inside our formations, undercutting commanders and NCOs. No more. Setting, achieving, and maintaining high standards is what you all do. And if that makes me toxic, then so be it. Second, today at our direction, we're ensuring that every service, every unit, every schoolhouse, and every form of professional military education conduct an immediate review of their standards.
Someone's asking about Muslims and beard, and I didn't know, were there such a thing as exemptions for Muslims and their beards? Was that a thing in the military? I wasn't aware of that. That's interesting. Tell me more.
Now, we've done this in many places already, but today it goes across the entire Department of War. Any place where tried and true physical standards were altered, especially since 2015 when combat arms standards were changed to ensure females could qualify, must be returned to their original standard. Other standards have been manipulated to hit racial quotas as well, which is just as unacceptable. This too must end. Merit only. The president talks about it all the time. Merit-based.
Let's go back. I need to hear this again.
We're talking about
hold on.
Department of War. Any place where tried and true physical standards were altered, especially since 2015 when combat arms standards were changed to ensure females could qualify, must be returned to their original standard. Other standards have been manipulated to hit racial quotas as well, which is just as unacceptable. This too must end. Merit.
We're trying to hit racial quotas in the military? What are we talking about, bro? Really? And then it says here for both Muslims and Sikh. I had a good friend from Afghanistan while I was in and was allowed to have a beard. Oh, so they did allow exemptions for Muslims and like Sikhs and stuff like that? That's interesting, bro. I had no idea. I didn't know that. I want to see what he says right here again.
Original standard. Other standards have been manipulated to hit racial quotas as well, which is just as unacceptable.
He said something about women here.
Merit. Today at our direction, we're ensuring that every service, every unit, every schoolhouse, and every form of professional military education conduct an immediate review of their standards. Now, we've done this in many places already, but today it goes across the entire Department of War. Any place where tried and true physical standards were altered, especially since 2015 when combat arms standards were changed to ensure females could qualify, must be returned to their original standard.
See, I'm 100% behind this because you should not be adjusting standards. If people say women can do, there are women that can do the same thing that men can do, but we can't change the standard. Let the women that can do those things rise up to the standard that's already set. We don't lower the standard so that other women can, or other, we have a standard. We need to raise the standard, if anything.
Standard. Other standards have been manipulated to hit racial quotas as well, which is just as unacceptable. This too must end. Merit only. The president talks about it all the time. Merit-based. Here are two basic frameworks I urge you to pursue in this process. Standards I call, my staff's heard all about them, the 1990 test and the E6 test. The 1990s test is simple. What were the military standards in 1990? And if they have changed, tell me why. Was it a necessary change based on the evolving landscape of combat? Or was the change due to a softening, weakening, or gender-based pursuit of other priorities? 1990
Someone asked, have I served? If you're asking me, no, I have not served.
seems to be as good a place to start as any. And the E6 test. Ask yourself, does what you're doing make the leadership, accountability, and lethality efforts of an E6, or frankly an O3, does it make it easier or more complicated? Does the change empower staff sergeants, petty officers, and tech sergeants to get back to basics? The answer should be a resounding yes. The E6 test, or O3 test, clarifies a lot, and it clarifies quickly.
Someone in the chat says the standards were not lowered. They were adjusted to meet the modern demands. Modern demands? What modern demands need adjusting to bring the standards lower? I'm not down with that kind of I don't see any modern demand that requires, if anything, we need to increase standards. We're not lowering standards, guys. Not playing that game.
Because war does not care if you're a man or a woman. Neither does the enemy. Nor does the weight of your rucksack, the size of an artillery round, or the body weight of a casualty on the battlefield who must be carried. This, and I want to be very clear about this, this is not about preventing women from serving. We very much value the impact of female troops. Our female officers and NCOs are the absolute best in the world. But when it comes to any job that requires physical power to perform in combat, those physical standards must be high and gender neutral. If women can make it, excellent. If not, it is what it is. If that means no women qualify for some combat jobs, so be it.
I agree.
That is not the intent, but it could be the result.
Someone says here, you never served is coming from someone who never served. I don't need to serve to have understanding of what's going on around me. And people like State Line and some other people have served, and you can ask them. They're telling you straight from themselves. They feel the same way. And almost everybody you speak to that has served feels the same way. Unless they were one of the lazy bums in the military.
Result, so be it. It will also mean that weak men won't qualify because we're not playing games. This is combat. This is life or death. As we all know, this is you versus an enemy hell-bent on killing you. To be an effective, lethal fighting force, you must trust that the warrior alongside.
Here you go, Jared Jackson. I served as an infantryman, and I agree. Yeah, yep, right here. Truth and if anybody, people that serve agree. That's how it goes. And I love what he just said. If the standards mean that no women can meet the standards and no women are part of it, so be it. We're not lowering standards, guys.
Beside you in battle is capable, truly physically capable of doing what is necessary under fire. You know, this is the only standard you would want for your kids and for your grandkids. Apply the War Department Golden Rule, the 1990 test, and the E6 test, and it's really hard to go wrong. Third, we are attacking and ending the walking on eggshells and zero defect command culture. A risk-averse culture means officers execute not to lose instead of to win. A risk-averse culture means NCOs are not empowered to enforce standards. Commanders and NCOs don't take necessary risks or make tough adjustments for fear of rocking the boat or making mistakes. A blemish-free record is what peacetime leaders covet the most, which is the worst of all incentives. We, as senior leaders, need to end the poisonous culture of risk aversion and empower our NCOs at all levels to enforce standards. Truth be told, for the most part, we don't need new standards. We just need to reestablish a culture where enforcing standards is possible. And that's why today, at my direction, I'm issuing new policies that will overhaul the IG, EO, and MEO processes. I call it the No More Walking on Eggshells policy.
I like that. I like this new policy. I like the name of it. Let's go.
We are liberating commanders and NCOs. We are liberating you. We are overhauling an inspector general process, the IG, that has been weaponized, putting complainers, ideologues, and poor performers in the driver's seat. We're doing the same with the equal opportunity and military equal opportunity policies, the EO and MEO at our department. No more frivolous complaints, no more anonymous complaints, no more repeat complainants, no more smearing reputations, no more endless waiting, no more legal limbo, no more sidetracking careers, no more walking on eggshells.
I love this. Let's go.
Of course, being a racist has been illegal in our formation since 1948. The same goes for sexual harassment. Both are wrong and illegal. Those kinds of infractions will be ruthlessly enforced. But telling someone to shave or get a haircut or to get in shape or to fix their uniform or to show up on time or to work hard, that's exactly the kind of discrimination we want.
Yeah.
We are not civilians. You are not civilians. You are set apart for a distinct purpose.
Yep.
So we, as a department, need to stop acting and thinking like civilians and get back to basics and put the power back in the hands of commanders and NCOs. Commanders and NCOs who make life and death decisions. Commanders and NCOs who enforce standards and ensure readiness. Commanders and NCOs who, in this War Department, have to look in the mirror and they have to pass the golden rule test. My kids, your kids, America's sons and daughters. So I urge you all here today and those watching, take this guidance and run with it. The core of this speech is the 10 directives we're announcing today. They were written for you, for Army leadership, for Navy leadership, for Marine Corps leadership, for Air Force leadership, Space Force leadership. These directives are designed to take the monkey off your back and put you, the leadership, back in the driver's seat. Move out with urgency because we have your back. I have your back. And the Commander-in-Chief has your back. And when we give you this guidance, we know mistakes will be made. It's the nature of leadership. But you should not pay for earnest mistakes for your entire career. And that's why today, at my direction, we're making changes to the retention of adverse information on personnel records that will allow leaders with forgivable, earnest, or minor infractions to not be encumbered by those infractions in perpetuity. People make honest mistakes, and our mistakes should not define an entire career. Otherwise, we only try not to make mistakes, and that's not the business we're in. We need risk takers and aggressive leaders and a culture that supports you. Fourth, at the War Department, promotions across the Joint Force will be based on one thing: merit. Colorblind, gender-neutral, merit-based. The entire promotion process, including evaluations of warfighting capabilities, is being thoroughly re-examined. We've already done a lot in this area, but more changes are coming soon. We'll promote top-performing officers and NCOs faster and get rid of poor performers more quickly. Evaluations, education, and field exercises will become real evaluations, not box checks, for every one of us at every level.
State line, you were right, bro. He put it down on this speech.
These same reforms happened before World War II as well. General George Marshall and Secretary of War Henry Stimson did the same thing. And we won a world war because of it. As it happens, when he started the job, Chairman Kane gave me a frame and a photo to hang in my office. A matching frame and photo hangs in his. It's a photo of Marshall and Stimson.
Tibble Kane says, I worked with this old Marine that was very thankful for his team leader who made a tough call and saved their lives. Had to pay 20 years in military prison for it because of politics. That sucks. James Kirk, stop, what do you call it? Spamming Free Palestine. Just, we heard you. You said it once. Keep doing it, and I'm going to boot you, bro.
Preparing for World War II. Those two leaders
I don't mind for you to say what you want to say, but don't be spamming the chat with the same thing over and over again and blowing it up. It's not that kind of chat.
famously kept the door open between their offices for the entirety of the war. They worked together, civilian and uniform, every single day. Chairman Kaine and I do the same. There is no daylight between us. Our doors are always open. Our job together is to ensure our military is led by the very best, ready to answer the nation's call. Fifth, as you have seen, and the media has obsessed over, I have fired a number of senior officers since taking over. The previous chairman, other members of the Joint Chiefs, combatant commanders, and other commanders. The rationale for me has been straightforward. It's nearly impossible to change a culture with the same people who helped create or even benefited from that culture, even if that culture was created by a previous president and previous secretary. My approach has been simple. When in doubt, assess the situation, follow your gut, and if it's the best for the military, make a change. We all serve at the pleasure of the president every single day. But in many ways, it's not their fault. It's not your fault.
David Rush says, I'm Irish in Ireland, but it's same shit here. And Ireland been a natural country. If shit hits the fan, Ireland will be drafted to the Western Front. And hell yeah, I would want all of us, I would want us all to be top of the game.
As foolish and reckless as
Nice
the
to
woke
hear,
department was, those officers were following elected political leadership.
Trump is up next.
An entire generation of generals and admirals were told that they must parrot the insane fallacy that, quote, our diversity is our strength. Of course, we know our unity is our strength. They had to put out dizzying DEI and LGBTQI+ statements. They were told females and males are the same thing, or that males who think they're females is totally normal.
Bro.
They were told that we need a green fleet and electric tanks.
Bro.
They were told to kick out Americans who refuse an emergency.
Bro, let's listen to this again. Let's hold on.
Serve at the pleasure of the president.
Here we go.
Every single day. But in many ways, it's not their fault. It's not your fault. As foolish and reckless as the woke department was, those officers were following elected political leadership. An entire generation of generals and admirals were told that they must parrot the insane fallacy that, quote, our diversity is our strength. Of course, we know our unity is our strength.
Our
They
unity
had to
is
put
our
out
strength.
dizzying DEI and LGBTQI+ statements. They were told females and males are the same thing, or that males who think they're females is totally normal. They were told that we need a green fleet and electric tanks. They were told.
You know what? Someone took it a step further in the chat. She said here, he said here, Seth said here, women shouldn't be defending men. I agree. Women shouldn't be defending men. Men should be defending women, in my opinion. I feel the same way too. Yeah, men should defend women, in my opinion. Yeah.
Told to kick out Americans who refuse an emergency vaccine. They followed civilian policies set by foolish and reckless political leaders. Our job, my job, has been to determine which leaders simply did what they must to answer the prerogatives of civilian leadership, and which leaders are truly invested in the woke department, and therefore incapable of embracing the War Department and executing new lawful orders. That's it. It's that simple. So for the past 8 months, we've gotten a good look under the hood of our officer corps. We've done our best to thoroughly assess the human terrain. We've had to make trade-offs and some difficult decisions. It's more of an art than a science. We have been and will continue to be judicious, but also expeditious. The new compass heading is clear. Out with the Shirellis, the Mackenzies, and the Millies.
Paul says, I love this, Paul. Where are you, Paul? Right here. Paul says, I'll defend my wife and daughters, and I'll show my stepson how to do the same. Love you, bro. Love that. That's what I'm talking about. That's what we need in this country, and that's why we've always been the best, bro. Because we've always been real men, and then we turn into this thing of, well, you know, men can be women, women can wake up in the morning and be men, and all this kind of weird stuff. And yes, of course, equality. Women have the same rights as men, but we're saying men should defend women, not the other way around. That's just, I mean, we're not saying don't do it, but what we believe is men should defend women.
And in with the Stockdales, the Schwarzkopfs, and the Pattons. More leadership changes will be made, of that I'm certain. Not because we want to, but because we must. Once again, this is life and death. The sooner we have the right people, the sooner we can advance the right policies. Personnel is policy. But I look out at this group, and I see great Americans. Leaders who have given decades to our great republic, at great sacrifice to yourselves and to your families. But if the words I'm speaking today are making your heart sink, then you should do the honorable thing and resign. We would thank you for your service. But I suspect, I know, the overwhelming majority of you feel the opposite. These words make your hearts full. You love the War Department because you love what you do, the profession of arms. You are hereby liberated to be an apolitical, hard-charging, no-nonsense, constitutional leader that you joined the military to be. We need you locked in on the M, not the D, the E, or the I, not the DEI or the DIE of dime. By that I mean the M, military, of the instruments of national power.
Yep.
We have entire departments across the government dedicated to diplomatic, informational, and economic lines of effort. We do the M. Nobody else does. And our GoFos need to master it in every domain and every scenario. No more distractions, no more political ideologies, no more debris. Now, of course,
I don't see a teleprompter anywhere. Or does it look like he's talking from a teleprompter, or is he just talking straight up?
Of course, we're going to disagree at times.
He's not, right? Or is he?
We would not be Americans if we didn't. Being a leader in a large organization like ours means having frank conversations and differences of opinion. You will win some arguments, and you will lose some arguments. But when civilian leaders issue lawful orders, we execute. We are professionals in the profession of arms. Our entire constitutional system is predicated upon this understanding. Now, it seems like a small thing, but it's not. This includes as well the behavior of our troops online. To that end, I want to thank and recognize the services for their new proactive social media policies. Use them. Anonymous, online, or keyboard complaining is not worthy of a warrior. It's cowardice masquerading as conscience. Anonymous, unit-level social media pages that trash commanders, demoralize troops, and undermine unit cohesion must not be tolerated. Again, O3s, E6s. Sixth, we must train and we must maintain. Any moment that we are not training on our mission or maintaining our equipment is a moment we are less prepared for preventing or winning the next war. That is why today, at my direction, we are drastically reducing the ridiculous amount of mandatory training that individuals and units must execute. We've already ended the most egregious. Now we're giving you back real time. Less PowerPoint briefings and fewer online courses, more time in the motor pool, and more time on the range. Our job is to make sure you have the money, equipment, weapons, and parts to train and maintain, and then you take it from there. You all know this because it's common sense. The tougher and the higher the standards in our units, the higher the retention rates in those units. Warriors want to be challenged. Troops want to be tested. When you don't train and you don't maintain, you demoralize. And that's when our best people decide to take their talents to the civilian world. The leaders who created the woke department have already driven out too many hard chargers. We reverse that trend right now. There is no world in which high-intensity war exists without pain, agony, and human tragedy. We are in a dangerous line of work. You are in a dangerous line of work. We may lose good people. But let no warrior cry out from the grave, if only I had been properly trained. We will not lose warfighters because we failed to train or equip them or resource them. Shame on us if we do. Train like your warriors' lives depend on it, because they do. To that point, basic training is being restored to what it should be.
Someone's asking, what's the speech for? He's speaking to the generals. They're all sitting in the audience, and if they pan out, you'll see it.
Scary, tough, and disciplined. We're empowering drill sergeants to instill healthy fear in new recruits, ensuring that future warfighters are forged. Yes, they can shark attack, they can toss bunks, they can swear, and yes, they can put their hands on recruits. This does not mean they can be reckless or violate the law, but they can use tried and true methods to motivate new recruits, to make them the warriors they need to be. Back to basics at basic as well. Of course, and you know this, basic training is not where mission readiness should end. The nature of the evolving threat environment demands that everyone, in every job, must be ready to join the fight if needed. A core credo of the Marine Corps is every Marine a rifleman. It means that everyone, regardless of MOS, is proficient enough to engage an enemy threat at sea, in the air, or in a so-called rear area. We need to ensure that every member of our uniformed military maintains baseline proficiency in basic combat skills, especially because the next war, like the last, will likely not have a rear area.
State line, what part are you talking about? Should I rewind it?
Finally, as President Trump rightly pointed out when he changed the department name, the United States has not won a major theater war since the name was changed to the Department of Defense in 1947. One conflict stands out in stark contrast: the Gulf War. Why? Well, there's a number of reasons, but it was a limited mission.
Paul says the woke department, not no more.
With
That's
overwhelming
right.
force and a clear end state. But why did we execute and win the Gulf War the way we did in 1991? There's two overwhelming reasons. One was President Ronald Reagan's military buildup gave an overwhelming advantage. And two, military and Pentagon leadership had previous formative battlefield experiences. The men who led this department during the Gulf War were mostly combat veterans of the Vietnam War. They said never again to mission creep or nebulous end states. The same holds true today. Our civilian and military leadership is chock full of veterans from Iraq and Afghanistan who say never again to nation building and nebulous end states. This clear-eyed view, all the way in the White House, combined with President Trump's military buildup, postures us for future victories if, and we will, and when we embrace the War Department. And we must.
Trump's about to get up.
We are preparing every day. We have to be prepared for war, not for defense. We're training warriors, not defenders. We fight wars to win, not to defend. Defense is something you do all the time. It's inherently reactionary and can lead to overuse, overreach, and mission creep. War is something you do sparingly, on our own terms, and with clear aims.
I agree, Seth.
We fight to win. We unleash overwhelming and punishing violence on the enemy. We also don't fight with stupid rules of engagement. We untie the hands of our warfighters to intimidate, demoralize, hunt, and kill the enemies of our country. No more politically correct and overbearing rules of engagement. Just common sense, maximum lethality, and authority for warfighters. That's all I ever wanted as a platoon leader. And it's all my E6 squad leaders ever wanted, back to that E6 rule.
I love that. And it comes from a place of experience. It's all he ever wanted as a platoon leader. So he gets it. You know what I mean? Like, I love
We let
this.
our leaders fight their formations, and then we have their back. It's very simple, yet incredibly powerful. A few months ago, I was at the White House when President Trump announced his Liberation Day for America's trade policy. It was a landmark day. Well, today is another Liberation Day. The liberation of America's warriors, in name, in deed, and in authorities. You kill people and break things for a living. You are not politically correct.
Right.
And don't necessarily belong always in polite society. We are not an army of one. We are a joint force of millions of selfless Americans. We are warriors. We are purpose-built, not for fair weather, blue skies, or calm seas. We were built to load up in the back of helicopters, 5 tons, or Zodiacs, in the dead of night. In fair weather or foul, to go to dangerous places, to find those who would do our nation harm, and deliver justice on behalf of the American people in close.
I need to make a reel at that last part, dude. A lot of this, man. Wow, this is good.
And brutal combat, if necessary. You are different. We fight not because we hate what's in front of us. We fight because we love what's behind us.
Yeah.
You see, the Ivy League faculty lounges will never understand us, and that's okay. Because they could never do what you do. The media will mischaracterize us, and that's okay. Because deep down they know the reason they can do what they do is you. In this profession, you feel comfortable inside the violence so that our citizens can live peacefully. Lethality is our calling card, and victory our only acceptable end state.
Yep.
In closing, a few weeks ago, at our monthly Pentagon Christian prayer service, I recited a commander's prayer. It's a simple yet meaningful prayer for wisdom for commanders and leaders. I encourage you to look it up if you've never seen it. But the prayer, it ends like this. And most of all, Lord, please keep my soldiers safe. Lead them, guide them, protect them, watch over them. And as you gave all of yourself for me, help me give all of myself for them. And amen. I have prayed this prayer many times since I've had the privilege of being your secretary. And I will continue to pray this prayer for each of you as you command and lead our nation's finest. Go forth and do good things, hard things.
Yeah.
President Trump has your back, and so do I.
Love it.
And you'll hear from him shortly.
Love it.
Move out and draw fire. Because we
Let's go.
are the War Department. Godspeed.
Room, attention.
Dude, I got chills too, bro. Donald says I got chills up my spine. Dude, me too. I have it right now, bro. I feel it right now. And then Rana says, I am now a Navy mom. Congratulations. Love to hear that. Awesome, awesome. Woo. I feel it right now. I feel it. Ooh. Oh, I feel it. Oh, it's good. That was good. I want to rewind it, but we got the Great White Hope coming up. You guys know who the Great White Hope is? Who knows who the Great White Hope is, bro? The Great White Hope is up. Let's go. The Great White Hope. Someone says here, what do they say here? Fascist. The fascist is speaking. Fascist is you guys that is Joe. The fascist is Joe Biden using the FBI to go after and suppress people on the right. That's fascist, bro. You guys are the fascists. That's called projection. You're projecting yourself. You're the fascist trying to call us fascists, bro. Please stop it, bro. Stop it, bro. Stop it. The big white hope. The great white hope. The great white hope. That's right. Big Daddy T. Come on, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah. 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 While they're loading up Big Daddy T, the Great White Hope, while they're loading them up, I'll show you what fascist is, guys. You want to see what fascist really is? This is fascism right here. This right here is fascism. You see this right here? This is fascism. This is fascism, guys, right here. You want to see it? This is it. This is it. Fascism at its height, right here. Right here. This is it. I'm gonna mute that, and we're gonna come back to Big Daddy T when he comes on stage. This is fascism right here. When you have the number 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 is not listed here, media channels or whatever you want to call them, companies, being forced by the Democrats to suppress their political opponents. That's fascism, bro. That's fascism. That's fascism right here. That is it. You're staring at it on your screen. A year ago, Zuckerberg came out and said, yep, for IG and Facebook, that's what they did. And then just a few days ago, a week ago, Google admits they did the same thing. You got to admit it when you're wrong. You got to have the guts to admit when you did that. Yeah. And Jimmy Kimmel getting fired is not the same because Trump didn't force it. Any of you guys saying that Jimmy Kimmel is the same thing, think about this for 1 second. And I'm going to teach you other guys, any of you guys that are on the right side, this is what you tell people that bring up Jimmy Kimmel and Stephen Colbert. Here's what you say. Trump has been loudly against all of these guys. Why didn't they get canceled before? Why? Because it's not Trump. It was a company. These guys run a business. These guys have been losing money. These guys have been losing money for a long time. And as a company, as a business owner myself, if I'm losing money for years, multiple years in a row, they should have changed things up a long time ago. Trump was voicing his opinion about talk show hosts and media companies and everything else for years. Why didn't they get canceled before? Because it's not Trump. All right, guys, let's go to the Great White Hope. Let's go to Big Daddy T. Here we go. You guys ready? Let's do this. Ready? Here he is. Ready? Right
Secretary
here.
of War.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Well, you've heard from me, so now it's the main event.
The Great White Hope.
Our Commander-in-Chief. I have the privilege every single day of watching him put America first, of ensuring that our warfighters have everything they need. His compass is clear. He's easy to follow because you know he has our back. I was thinking backstage, the man who was the Commander-in-Chief when the War Department was created was George Washington, the man who was president when the War Department
the Great White
was
Hope.
established. is President
Big
Trump.
Daddy T.
And when he found out about this gathering of senior leaders,
If you guys don't know what Great White Hope is, you need to watch Jesse Lee Peterson, bro. Great White Hope is about to go on stage. You'll see who. For those of you wondering who's the Great White Hope, you're about to see him in a second. Hang tight.
see it every day, and I'm honored that this morning you all firsthand get to see it as well.
Yeah, baby.
So, ladies and gentlemen, join me in welcoming the 45th and 47th President of the United States, our Commander-in-Chief, Donald J. Trump.
Great White Hope. Saved our country, man. We were lost, bro. Think about it. I could wake up tomorrow morning and decide I'm a woman. Makes no sense, you guys. Wake up.
Very much, Pete.
Wake up.
Great job you're doing, too. Fantastic job. I've never walked into a room so silent before. This is very...
Look at the generals, bro. These are all generals. You see that? Can you see? Let me move this around. Can you see this? Look at this. Look at all. These are all generals they're talking to. They're all generals right here, lined up.
No, don't laugh. Don't laugh. You're not allowed to do that. You know what? Just have a good time. And if you want to applaud, you applaud. And if you want to do anything you want, you can do anything you want. And if you don't like what I'm saying, you can leave the room. Of course, there goes your rank. There goes your future.
Dang, bro. Did you hear that? Let's play that again. I love it. Ooh, we're about to trigger everybody in the chat, bro. Here we go.
Just feel nice and loose. Thank you very much, Pete. Great job you're doing, too. Fantastic job. I've never walked into a room so silent before. This is very... Oh, don't laugh. Don't laugh. You're not allowed to do that. You know what? Just have a good time. And if you want to applaud, you applaud. And if you want to do anything you want, you can do anything you want. And if you don't like what I'm saying, you can leave the room. Of course, there goes your rank. There goes your future. But you just feel nice and loose, okay? Because we're all on the same team. And
I'm trying to turn it up. I have it pretty high up. Their sound is low, unfortunately, on this feed.
told that, sir, you won't hear a murmur in the room. I said, we got to lose.
Let me see if I can find a better sound here.
Do anything you want. You can do anything you want. And if you don't like what I'm saying, you can leave the room. Of course, there goes your rank. There goes your future. But you just feel nice and loose, okay? Because we're all on the same team. And I was told that, sir, you won't hear a murmur in the room. I said, we got to loosen these guys up a little bit. So you just have a good time. But I want to thank Secretary Hegseth and General Kane, General Raisin Kane for a reason they call him that. When I heard,
God, I have to watch this again. This is just so good.
thank you very much, Pete.
With a good sound.
Great
Here we
job
go.
you're doing, too. Fantastic job. I've never walked into a room so silent before. This is very... Oh, don't laugh. Don't laugh. You're not allowed to do that. You know what? Just have a good time. And if you want to applaud, you applaud. And if you want to do anything you want, you can do anything you want. And if you don't like what I'm saying, you can leave the room. Of course, there goes your rank. There goes your future. But you just feel nice and loose, okay? Because we're all on the same team.
Those of you wondering what's going on, he's speaking to a room full of generals. He got all the generals together, and they're speaking to them right now.
And I was told that, sir, you won't hear a murmur in the room. I said, we got to loosen these guys up a little bit. So you just have a good time. But I want to thank Secretary Hegseth and General Kane, General Raisin Kane for a reason they call him that. When I heard his name, I said, you're the guy I'm looking for. The Joint Chiefs of Staff and so many others in this room who together represent the greatest and most elite fighting force in the history of the world, the United States military. We're very proud of our military. I rebuilt the military during my first term. It's one of the greatest achievements. We had the greatest economy in history, and I built the military. Those are the two things I say more than anything else. And I also kept us safe at the borders. We had very good borders. We didn't have people coming in from jails and prisons and everything like took place over the last 4 years. They'll never forget what happened to this country over the last 4 years with the incompetence There could be no higher honor than to serve as your commander-in-chief. It is a great honor. I look at you, you're just incredible people. Central casting, I might add. To each and every one of you, I thank you for your unwavering devotion to the armed forces and to the country that we've all sworn a sacred oath to defend. We all have that oath, every one of us. I'm thrilled to be here this morning to address the senior leadership of what is once again known around the world as the Department of War. I know Pete spoke about it. He gave a great speech, I thought. Great speech. I don't want him to get so good. I hate that. You know? No, I hate it. I almost fired him. I said, you can't, I don't want to go on after that. No, he gave a great speech, but he talked about Department of War. We were sitting there. I said, didn't it used to be called the Department of War? And he goes, yes, sir. They changed it like in the early 50s. So we won the First World War. We won the Second World War. We won everything in between and everything before that. We only won. And then we went, in a way, woke. That was probably the first sign of wokeness. And we changed it to defense instead of war. And I said, what do you think? How do you think if we changed it back? Would that be a nice idea? And Pete loved it immediately. Some people thought about it. You know, they gave it a little thought. But in the end, we did it. And I have to be honest, it's so popular. I thought it would be met with fury on the left, but they're sort of giving up, I must be honest with you. They've had it. They've had it with Trump. They've been after me for so many years now. Here we are. Here we are. Come to the White House anytime you'd like. No, they've given up. They're bad, a lot of bad people. But all over, that's been so popular. It's been very popular. I really thought that we were going to have to sort of fight it through. There's been no fight. There's been no fight. Like what I called the Gulf of America, the Gulf of America, because to me it was always the Gulf of America. I could never understand. We have 92% of the...
He should have made a Gulf of Trump, bro, honestly, to really trigger everybody. Gulf of Trump, dude.
Frontage.
Oh, man.
And for years, actually 350 years, they were there before us. It was called the Gulf of Mexico. I just had this idea. I'm looking at a map. I'm saying, we have most of the frontage. Why is it Gulf of Mexico? Why isn't it the Gulf of America?
Love the Gulf of America, and it makes perfect sense. It's the Gulf of America. It's a beautiful thing, but he should have made it Gulf of Trump just to make everyone lose it, bro.
And I made the change, and it went smoothly. I mean, we had a couple of fake news outlets that refused to make the change, and then one of them, AP, took us to court, and we won. And the judge, who was a somewhat liberal judge, said the name is the Gulf of America, because AP refused to call it the Gulf of America. They wrote, they're not a good outfit, by the way. They call it the Gulf of Mexico. I said, no, the Gulf of America is the name. And the judge actually said that, in fact, you can't even go into the room because what you're doing is not appropriate. The name is the Gulf of America. Google Maps changed the name. Everybody did, but AP wouldn't, and then we won in court. How about that? Isn't that so cool? The Secretary Hegseth beautifully described the name change reflects far more than the shift in branding. It's really a historic reassertion of our purpose and our identity and our pride. That's when we go with the word war. And you know, we want war because we want to have no wars.
I like the new name.
Be there, and you know, sometimes you have to do it. I have settled so many wars since we're here. We're here almost 9 months, and I've settled 7, and yesterday we might have settled
State line.
the biggest of them all, although I don't know. Pakistan, India was very big. Both nuclear powers, I settled that. But yesterday could be the settlement.
Those of you talking shit on our Great White Hope, saying that he looks tired, or he looks this, he looks that, bro, he's 80 years old doing circles around any of you guys that won't get off your couch or get a job. Tell you that. That's straight up what it is.
In the Middle East, that hasn't happened for 3,000 years. I said, how long have you been fighting? 3,000 years, sir. That's a long time. But we got it, I think, settled. We'll see. Hamas has to agree. And if they don't, it's going to be very tough on them.
The Great White Hope.
It is what it is. But all of the Arab nations, Muslim nations have agreed. Israel has agreed. It's an amazing thing. It just came together. War is very strange, you know. You never know what's going to happen with war. The easiest one of them all is Putin. I said, number one, it's a war that would have never happened if I were president, if the election weren't rigged. And if I were president, that war would have never happened, not even a little chance. And it didn't happen for 4 years. But I knew Putin very well, and I thought that would be easy because I know him
Jesse
so well.
Lee, baby. Jesse Lee. The great, you know what's up, baby. I love it. The Wheelie Factory knows it.
That were not settlable, and they all got settled. So if this works out, that we did yesterday,
The Department
the
of
Middle
War.
East, then that's more than a war. That's lots of wars. That's all combined.
I
That's
like
a lot
it.
of wars. Many of you were over there in many different capacities in many different countries. That was
I like it.
That's a big
We're
part
gonna
of the
boot
earth.
Jesus for spamming our
But if
chat.
that
I
works
told you,
out, it
man.
would
Stop
be
spamming
8
the
plus.
chat.
I
So
could
you're
give
out,
myself
bro.
2 or 3 for that one.
Stop, man.
And then we just have the one to settle, and we have to settle it up with President Putin and Zelensky. Got to get them together and get it done. But the only way we can do that is through strength. I mean, if we were weak, they wouldn't even take my phone call. But we have extreme strength. We had the horror show in Afghanistan, which is really the reason I think that Putin went in. He saw that horror show.
Lumpy's asking if I've served. No, I have not served.
Competent people. And that's
But there's a lot of people in the chat that have. Feel free to talk to them. State Line is over here on the Instagram side. That's what you see above your chat is Instagram chat. And down here is the YouTube chat.
And now we're back. And that's it. We're not going to have any of that crap happen, I can tell you. That was terrible, so terrible. Together we're reawakening the warrior spirit, and this is a spirit that won and built this nation. And from the cavalry that tamed the Great Plains to the ferocious, unyielding power of Patton Bradley and the great General Douglas MacArthur, these are all great men. In this effort, we're a team, and so my message to you is very simple. I am with you, I support you, and as president, I have your backs 100%. You'll never see me even waver a little bit. That's
I
the way it
love
is.
that.
And that includes our great police officers and firemen and all of these people that are doing. In this effort, we're a team, and so my message to you is very simple. I am with you, I support you, and as president, I have your backs 100%. You'll never
I
see
love
me
it.
even waver a little bit.
I have to do
That's the
that
way it
one more
is,
time.
people. I am with you, I support you, and as president, I have your backs 100%. You'll never see me even waver a little bit. That's the way it is. And that includes our great police officers and firemen and all of these people that are doing so well. Together over the next few years, we're going to make our military stronger, tougher, faster, fiercer, and more powerful than it has ever been before. I rebuilt our nuclear, as you probably know, but we'll upgrade that also and just hope we never have to use it. We have to hope we never have to use it because the power of that is so incredible. I see things, I don't think they'd show it to you. I really wouldn't want them to show it to you. But when you see the result of what's left, you never want to use that. Never, never, ever. We were a little bit threatened by Russia recently, and I sent a submarine, nuclear submarine, the most lethal weapon ever made. Number one, you can't detect it. There's no way. We're 25 years ahead of Russia and China in submarines. Russia's actually second in submarines. China's third, but they're coming up. They're coming up. They're way lower in nuclear too, but in 5 years they'll be equal. They're coming up. And you don't have to be that good with nuclear. You could have 1/20th what you have now and still do the damage that would be, that'd be so horrendous. But I announced that, based on his mention of nuclear, and it was really a stupid person that works for him mentioned the word nuclear, I moved a submarine or two, I won't say about the two, over to the coast of Russia, just to be careful, because we can't let people throw around that word. I call it the N word. There are two N words, and you can't use either of them. You can't use either of them. And frankly, if it does get to use, we have more than anybody else. We have better, we have newer, but it's something we don't ever want to even have to think about. But when somebody mentions it, that submarine started immediately thereafter. And it's just lurking, but I'm sure we're not going to have to use it. But it's an amazing, it's undetectable, totally. Ours is, theirs isn't.
What do you want me to
totally
read?
detectable. We can detect them easily. We go right to the spot. But we have genius apparatus that doesn't allow detection. It doesn't allow detection at all by anybody above water or below water. It's incredible. We're
What do you
way
want me
ahead
to
of
read?
everybody in that and other things.
It's the Great White Hope, guys. It's the Great White Hope speaking to you.
That's what it is. It's really reaching that spirit, unprecedented heights. Over the past 8 months, new enlistments, I'm so proud of this, have surged to record highs, the highest we've ever had. And we used to have recruiting shortages. If you remember, about a year and a half ago,
I sound like Floyd
at the
Mayweather.
beginning.
You want to hear me? You want to hear me talk? This is the Great White Hope, baby. How many of you guys want to watch? Want me to put on Jesse Lee Peterson after this? Let me know. I'll put him on, bro. I love it. The Great White Hope.
When you get 95% of the vote, you always have to mention them. But they're great. And they're brave in our inner cities, which we're going to be talking about, because it's a big part of war now. It's a big part of war. But the firemen go up in ladders, and you have people shooting at them while they're up in ladders. I don't even know if anybody heard that. And I said, don't talk about it much, but I think you have to. Our firemen are incredible. They're up in one of these ladders that goes way up to the sky, rescuing people, and you have animals shooting at them, shooting bullets at firemen that are way up in death territory. You fall off that ladder, it's over. It's over. They don't even have to inspect you when you hit the ground. And you have people shooting bullets at them in some of these inner cities. We're not going to let that happen. So I always mention the firemen because that's actually a big problem we have. They are unbelievable. Like you, they're unbelievable people. For the first time on record in 2025, the Navy, Air Force, and Space Force all met or surpassed their recruiting goals 3 months early. That never happened before. And the Army did even better. Congratulations, Army. They met everything. And these were the highest standards because we're making it larger. So these were much higher standards than you had 4 years ago, 3 years ago, during the sleepy Joe Biden era. And the Army did it 4 months early. And you remember, a year and a half ago, they said the big stories that we're way behind with the Army, Air Force, the Navy, the Marines. We're way behind, Coast Guard, and even Space Force. I love Space Force because that was my creation. You know, when you create something, I love it. And the people we put in there were good. I got that right. We put in great people initially, and we've really dominated. We really dominate in that sphere now. We're way behind China and Russia, and now we dominate. Space Force turned out to be a very important thing. I said from the beginning, you know, when Biden came into office, he wanted to terminate it. He said, and this thing called Space Force, so we could get rid of that. And he got hammered by the people in this room for even suggesting it, because it's very important, one of the most important. And as time goes by, it'll get more and more open.
State line, Truth Behind the Smoke is aquariums from YouTube. So he crossed over into the IG side. Yeah, he's the guy that I was telling you. You guys would probably get along pretty good. He also wrestled in high school like me.
Retention targets before the end of October, which never happens. And that's the earliest it's ever happened in the history of our country. And it makes you feel good, you know. I felt guilty. I'd go make a speech in front of never people like you. You are the leaders, but people, soldiers. And I felt embarrassed because there'd be stories about, you know, we couldn't fill up our Army, Navy, Air Force. We couldn't fill them up. And
those of you asking to give some type of a summary, we had Pete Hegseth up here earlier. I mean, it's not a great summary, but I'll just say no more DEI, no more lowering standards, no more playing the game of hurt feelings. No more none of that. It's a Department of War. We're focusing on progression. We're focusing on getting stronger, not weaker. And we're looking at standards. We're making sure we're doing the right things across the board, not just in one department, across the entire military. And we're not playing games. It's not time to play games anymore. It's time to, get dialed in. It's time to come together. It's time to set this thing up and get us on the right track, because the whole world is building up their side. And so we need to make sure we're not lowering standards. We're on top of our game.
He gets into maybe
And you guys can feel free to add to what I just said. So
there, and you go through years of work, and now you become an admiral or a general or whatever. And
no more looking at skin colors and races, and no more men can wake up in the morning and become women, and no more, none of this stuff.
my signature, I really do. Everyone loves my signature. But I signed it very proudly, and I always think to myself, how can you have an auto pen sign this? It's just so disrespectful. To me, it's just totally disrespectful. And it turned out that almost everything he did was signed by auto pen, except for when he gave his son, Hunter, pardon. He signed that one. And that's actually the worst signature I've ever seen. That was the bad. The auto pen looks much better. But as leaders are...
I love it, dude. Look at it. Look at this. Who is this? Ghostwriter says he's eating an American burrito in the Gulf of America, baby. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, baby.
so strong.
You got hash browns in that burrito?
Will dare challenge us, so powerful that no enemy will dare threaten us, and so capable that no adversary can even think about beating us. And we've had it recently. I had India and Pakistan were going at it, and I called them both. And in this case, I used trade. I'm not going to trade with you. You start two nuclear nations, big nuclear. And no, you cannot do that. I said, yes, I can. You go into this frickin' war that I'm hearing about. Actually, they just shot down 7 planes. 7 planes, it was starting. There's a lot of bad blood. And I said, you do this, there's not going to be any trade. And I stopped the war. It was raging for 4 days, but that was...
Somebody says another unhealthy guy. You know who's an unhealthy guy? The guy that you guys ran for president for 4 years. The guy that you guys hired or elected for president for 4 years, Biden. And then you guys wanted to have him again for another 4 years. That's who has issues. That's the guy that nobody ever heard of. That someone else that had an auto pen signing for him. He didn't even know what he was doing. That was a joke. And the day you guys can have the guts to agree and admit it, that'll be at least one step in the right direction.
And I was very honored. I loved the way he said it. Susie Wiles was there. She said that was the most beautiful thing. But we saved a lot of them. Saved a lot of them. Even in Africa, we saved
the Great White
Congo
Hope
with Rwanda. They've been fighting for 31 years, 10 million people dead. I got that one done, and very proud of it. So if this works out, we'll have 8 in 8 months. That's pretty good. Nobody's ever done that. Will you get the Nobel Prize? Absolutely not. They'll give it to some guy that didn't do a damn thing. They'll give it to a guy that wrote a book about the mind of Donald Trump and what it took to solve the wars. And he'll get the Nobel Prize will go to a writer. No, but well, let's see what happens. But it's be a big insult to our country. I will tell you that. I don't want it. I want the country to get it. But it should get it because there's never been anything like it. Think of it. So if this happens, I think it will. I don't say that lightly because I know more about deals than anybody. This is what my whole life was based on. And they can change, and this can certainly change. But we have just about everybody. We have one signature that we need, and that signature will pay in hell if they don't sign. I hope they sign for their own good and we create something really great. But to have done 8 of them is just like such an honor. And then we have Putin and Zelensky, the easiest one of them all. I said, that one I'll get done. I thought that was going to be first. The others are much harder, some of them. Azerbaijan This was going on for 36 years. They said, it's not solvable, sir. You don't do it. I said, I will do it. I will do it. And I got on the phone with the two countries. They were great. They were great. I knew immediately. I knew as soon as I started talking to them, we're going to solve that war, and we did. Now they're so happy. Now they're friends. One said he's been president for 32 years, 22 years. He said, you know, for 22 years, I did nothing but kill his people. They were in the room together at the Oval Office. And they started off spread like this. They have the beautiful Resolute desk. And one was here, and one was here. You couldn't get further away. That's the furthest I've ever seen two people in front of me. And as the hour went by, they got closer, closer, closer. And at the end of the hour, we had it done. And they hugged and hugged and hugged. And I said, that's so nice, and you're going to remain friends. And I spoke to them, one of them the other day. He said, no, he's now my friend. But for 22 years, he's been the head of Azerbaijan for 22 years. And the other guy, great guy too, 7. And you know that war, that was a war that was not solvable. He said for 7 years. The other one said for 22 years. All I did was kill his people. That's all I've done. I said, well, we're going to put a stop to that. So we solved that. So it's a great thing. It's a great feeling. You know, you're saving
The Great White Hope.
Serbia, you're saving so many lives doing this if you can do it.
I got to go to the gym later, but let me know if you guys want to see Jesse Lee Peterson after this. I have I have a few other things that I want to show, but let me know since since we got into the Great White Hope. Let me know if you guys want to see Jesse Lee Peterson, the fallen state.
That's the most important word, other than the word tariff. I love tariffs. Most beautiful word. But I'm not allowed to say that anymore. I said tariff is my favorite word. I love the word tariff. You know, we're becoming rich as hell. We have a big case in front of the Supreme Court, but I can't imagine. Because this is what other nations have done to us. And we have, you know, great legal grounds and all, but you still have a case. It would be very bad if something happened. But I said, my favorite word in the English dictionary is the word tariff. And people thought that was strange. And the fake news came over and they really hit me hard on it. They said, what about love? What about religion? What about God? What about wife, family? I got killed when I said tariff is my favorite word. So I changed it. It's now my 5th favorite word. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. But they hit me hard. But it is. I mean, when you look at, we've taken in trillions of dollars. We're rich again. And there'll never be, when we finish this out, there'll never be any wealth like what we have. Other countries were taking advantage of us for years and years. You know that better than anybody.
Okay, I'm gonna go to another video here. So, all right, let me pull this. So this is a video that I wanted to pull up. I'm gonna bring Jesse Lee Peterson after this, but check this out. This is about who is MAGA. Okay, this is the live classroom in Penn State. So let's watch this. Okay.
Pick out another black person in the class who you think supports Donald Trump. Find another black person who calls themselves American. Yeah, not like Nigerian American, like a real American. You know what I mean?
A real American.
Yeah.
Chill, bro. Chill. Y'all some ops. You're an op and he's an op.
Oh man, you already missed 2 opportunities, by the way, that I totally see. I'm just like, oh man.
Oh, this is find a black student who supports
I'm Puerto
MAGA.
Rican.
Puerto Rican?
I'm from New Jersey.
Can I somebody who's black? Yeah, anybody. It doesn't really matter. Dude, you want to do it? You're black
You guys want
enough.
to see Jesse
Are
Lee
you half black?
Peterson?
We'll
The
go
Great White
for it.
Hope?
Is that good? Is she black enough? Dude, all right, here, come on. Pick out another black person in the class who you think supports Donald Trump.
Oh, can I walk?
Yeah, walk around.
Okay, I'm gonna go this way first.
You gotta tell us what you're looking for, though.
Let's see. Looking for somebody who has like white shoes, but they're like dirty. Like,
Oh my God. Wait,
but like you gotta be black though.
hang on a second.
What?
He'd walk us through white shoes that are dirty.
I know y'all see no shoes.
Yo,
I know y'all see no shoes.
wait, MAGA, Donald Trump supporters, MAGA people. You know who you are if you have white shoes that are dirty.
Like
okay?
banked up.
Yeah. All right. What else you looking for?
Um,
See, this is like this is how the minds work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like,
I'm feeling it. You know what? Hold on, wait.
yeah, you gotta walk all around, man.
I got some flavor. Hold on.
Gotta be looking for other things too.
All right, you fine, brother. Let me see. Let me see. Hold on. You kind
Yo, be like, yo,
wait. You right here, brother. Come on. You don't gotta have the shoes on. Come on, brother. Let's go.
oh, that guy. Oh man. All right, hang on.
Are you
Wait,
coming down or we staying up?
hold on. All right. Well, wait. Okay, give him a microphone. Dude, hang on. Let me look at this guy.
Let's look at him.
What do you? This guy. Look at. He's got the sandals and the black socks.
No, that's fine. He doesn't have to have the
Yeah.
white shoes.
Are you still thinking?
Um,
I mean, he doesn't have white.
it's
shoes on.
skeptical, but I'm like kind of leaning more towards yes.
Yeah.
This is Penn State. This is
All
a
right,
class.
man.
They do
What's
live
your- what's your
classroom
ancestry?
sessions.
I'm Nigerian.
You're Nigerian? Oh, dude, he's halfway there. Alrighty, Nigerians, y'all are really conservative. Okay, Donald Trump, man. Thumbs up.
This is not acting. These are students in a class. This is a Penn State class. This right here is the actual YouTube channel. They do live sessions on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I follow these and I try to pick some out for us to go through and discuss and enjoy.
Is no comment and answer?
No, what does that mean? Like, oh, thumbs down?
Yeah.
Ah, dude. All right.
There's no way you saw me and thought that.
You look, if I look at you, I mean, first off, you say you're Nigerian. First off, did you have an idea that he was Nigerian?
Somewhere around there. Not really.
What tribe? What's your tribe? Where are you? What are you?
I'm Igbo.
Igbo?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm thinking like, I would immediately think it's at least 50-50. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, but you're not. All right, where are you from? Are you from Nigeria?
Yeah.
You came here as an international student?
Oh no, I came here when I was like young.
Okay. All right. All right, man. Well, thanks for volunteering, man. You lost.
My bad.
How
I
about
tried.
how about this? Wait, let me see if we can get somebody else. How about
She's
how
trying
about
to
this?
find someone
about
that's
you pick
black
out-
that's MAGA.
Hang on. Anki, come. I'm going to get him to do it.
Okay, yeah.
No, hang on. We're
Oh.
going to have a competition.
Oh,
Here, you both find somebody.
okay.
All right.
What am
All right.
supposed to?
So in this class, they talk about a lot of different things. They talk about diversity. They talk about MAGA. They talk about all kinds of almost anything goes. This particular one is about black students and MAGA.
Find another black person who calls themselves American. Yeah, not like
Okay.
Nigerian American,
All right,
like
let me
a
look.
real American. You know what I mean?
A real American.
Yeah. Dude, did you get that? Did you get the joke right there?
Yo, brother, you got. Yo, let me wait. Hold
A
on.
real American.
I think I got mine over here.
You got your guy? All right, an American. Like who would say like I'm not like African American, I'm not Black American, I'm not just call me an American, man. You can come down the front. It's easier to see people, man.
Where?
Dude, I feel like you're
Do I stand up?
Man.
Is that crazy?
Look at
This
your shirt,
guy?
brother.
Her or him? This guy? You know what? His shoes are pretty white. Yeah. Yeah. So
He's hiding them.
but you can't go with Akira. Wait, it was Akira, right?
I'm over here, yeah.
Go by what she said, because I was
Wow.
this guy.
Yeah.
Bro. How do you identify yourself?
Okay, well, you said American. What do you mean? You
You
said
just mean American, man. Like I'm just like
like
yeah.
American or American?
totally.
Sorry. Jersey.
All right. For So wait, so what do
Okay, you know what? This is not one of those classes. I like the ones where he brings them up to the front of the class, and he just lets them talk about like what they think about politics and kind of our culture and stuff like that. Let's go to this one right here because this is a good one. This is Jesse Lee Peterson. We were talking about Jesse Lee Peterson. Here we go. Restless. Hang on. Here we go. Ready, set. Hold
My
on.
YouTube
Here we go.
video. I have with me tonight Andre Shirley. Also, Michelle Watson is here, and we want to have an open and honest discussion about Beyonce and the whole race issue. Andre goes to school at Trade Tech, and Michelle is a community activist. Do you work with Black Lives Matter or the Black Student Union, or both?
Both.
Both?
Both, and also the Los Angeles Black Workers Center.
Oh, okay. What do you guys disagree with me about?
Let's go down the list. Well, let's start off with how you described Beyonce and her performance. When you said that white people should have gotten up and walked away.
Why? Why is that a problem?
Race relations is something that needs to be talked about. It needs to be addressed. It has held this country back and held my people back for far too long. And until we can, as a society, sit down and understand what's plaguing us, we will never be able to move forward.
But she wasn't talking about it at the football game.
No, she was bringing attention to the fact that there is lack of value on Black lives here in America.
Most people, when they go to the Super Bowl, they're taking their families, their kids are with them.
Yes.
They want to go there and just have fun. They don't want to hear Black people complaining about so-called racism at a football game.
So-called
If Beyonce wanted to talk about it, she should have called together a meeting and say, hey, I'd like to bring everybody together and let's have a discussion about so-called racism in America.
Racism is not private.
Have we asked for this conversation? How many times have we asked for a conversation about race relations? I have a dream that one day my children will be judged by the content
but Black people have been talking about racism for 50 years or so.
Did Harriet Tubman have to constantly go back before a conversation? We are at a point in society where us as young people, we're tired of seeing it. We're tired of hearing. I'm tired of walking down the street in my hoodie and being afraid because I just saw a police officer. Not being afraid because there's some people down on the corner that I don't know. Not being afraid because my next door neighbor is always in his garage. I don't know what he's doing. But being afraid because the people who are charged to protect and serve my life, people who are taking my tax dollars to have a job to protect and serve my life.
So tell me about Beyonce. Let me ask you about Beyonce. Beyonce is 34 years old.
Yes.
She's married.
Yes.
She has a daughter.
Yes.
And first of all, she out doing this booty dance, half naked, dressed in black, looking like a thug. Is that a good example for, and I'll ask you this, Michelle, is that a good example for other young girls? And should a married mother act that way in public?
Beyonce is a woman, and women have sexuality and femininity, right? And so that's where the style comes from. If it's okay with her husband, then it's no one should ever have anything to say.
Is she a good example for other young girls to see an older woman acting that way?
Yes.
That is a good example?
Yes, because that's not their status. They know you are from a baby, a child, a little girl, a teenager. They're not a woman, right? And they know that. But just because they see a woman in its full manifestation doesn't mean that it'll negatively affect them.
Would you want your mother out doing the hoochie mama dance, half naked, dressed in black, where the world is looking at her?
Everyone is entitled to a good time.
No, but would you want your mother to do that?
I would.
Hold on a minute. Would you want your mother to do that?
To have fun in a black dress on national television?
Half naked doing the hoochie mama dance.
Beyonce was not half naked.
Yes, you are. But you didn't answer the question. Would you want your mother doing that?
Depends on how old she is. Yeah, it does. So, in my opinion, so hey.
So would you want your 34-year-old mother doing that?
Why not? Like I said, everyone is entitled to their expression of themselves.
Is that a
She's
yes
not
or no?
just yes. It's a yes.
That's a yes?
It's a yes.
You would want your mother doing that?
It's a yes. My 34-year-old mother, yes. It's in the self-expression.
What is it that she's trying to express?
She's trying to express, for one, the powerfulness of the black woman and the black movement.
But that's
and
not
how
power
she's in
to go out
solidarity.
and hoochie mama dance half naked. That's no power in that. That's a weakness.
What is a hoochie
Women are
mama
doing
dance?
that in bars and clubs every day and night. Don't you think?
Showing
hoochie mama
one's
dance.
physical beauty
Dance
is a weakness.
is a part of art.
But not half naked in the public. Let me ask this. Beyonce promoted Black Lives Matter. We all know that Black Lives Matter is an agitative, evil group of people who could care less about black people.
We do not
She
all
also,
know that.
let me finish,
I'm
and then
not
I'll let you
saying that
respond.
can we
She
not
also
establish that as a
promoted,
fact, though?
hold on, I'll let you respond. She also promoted the Black Panther Party, and we know that Black Panthers promoted killing cops, and they killed at least 2 police officers that I'm aware of. And in Chicago, black people were afraid of the Black Panthers during those days because they were so radical. She also promoted Malcolm X at a Super Bowl game.
Yes.
And you guys are okay with that, right?
Yes.
Okay, so let me ask this
Promote
then.
my people.
Next year, I'm asking the KKK to go and perform a cross burning dressed in hoods, white sheets and hoods at the Super Bowl halftime. Are you okay with that too?
We live in America where you have freedom of speech. If that's the idiocracy you want to promote, then
So you would be
feel
okay
free
with that,
to
right?
do that. I would personally be a part of the crowd that's protesting it. As you said, white
But
people should have gotten up and walked out on Beyonce and Kendrick Lamar's performances. I would be that black person that would bring that protest to your front door
Why?
and ask you
Why?
how
If
as
Beyonce
a
can
black
promote-
person could you promote an organization that judged your ancestors on the color of their skin and not the content of their character, never even asked them a simple question, but because they were solely black, put them in chains and make them work on a field. And
The
these are the
KKK
people
didn't do
you-
that.
The KKK is a terrorist group, and it's the longest standing
And so is
terrorist
Black
group
Lives Matter.
in Los Angeles. Black Lives Matter is not a terrorist group.
So let me ask.
Black Lives Matter is simply an affirmation to black people that we matter, because we don't see it enough in our community. Nobody tells us, not even our parents sometimes, that we matter. So when we say Black Lives Matter, it's not saying that you don't matter. It's not saying that we matter more than somebody else. It's saying that we matter, and I can tell myself that I matter, just like I can tell myself that I'm beautiful, right? To affirm it to myself.
So is that a no about the KKK performing? You wouldn't support that?
Okay, first of all, let me get this straight. So you said the Black Panthers had people scared in Chicago, right? They had
You guys are not
people
answering my
scared to
question.
sell drugs in the
I
neighborhood.
answered
They
your
had people
question, sir.
scared to
No, I would
prostitute
not be on
women
board with
in the
that.
hood. The Black Panthers gave out. They started the free meal program. They started WIC
WIC,
program,
yes.
which the government has
Black
started to take over
Carter.
because they fed
Yes.
communities, right? And so when you have the KKK who started things like Halloween, where they dress up in masks and go firebomb houses, black houses where they hang people from
Black
trees,
Wall Street.
have parties with black people hanging from trees like strange fruit, if you've ever touched up on your black history. But you have these KKK terrorist organization groups that have tormented black people for years, African people for years, but they are not labeled as a terrorist group. So then you have a
So-
black group emerging from
so
the
is that a
community called
no?
Black Lives Matter,
Is that a
and
no?
now we have to be a terrorist group, and we're here to rebuild the community, to hit the capitalist white supremacist society right in its face and stop it and say, hey, this is not right.
Okay, so let me go back to the question. Is that a no for the KKK performing next year?
Only if you're on the cross.
I'm sorry?
Only if you're on the cross.
I'm on the cross?
Yeah.
And then you'll be okay with it?
Yeah.
Why are you so mean?
I'm not mean.
Why would you want to put me on the cross because we disagree? Where's the
Because-
love in that?
Where's the
your
love
in
in
Beyonce
you?
for at
Where's
least
the love in that? Let me
bringing
ask you
light to
this.
conversation?
I wanna
Where's
go-
your love for Trayvon Martin, who didn't even do anything?
Where's your
but
love for
according
Ezel
to you,
Ford?
he was a
Let me ask you
criminal.
this.
Omar Obrego.
Hold on. You said that Black Lives Matter make black people feel worthy and beautiful?
No, I didn't say we make people feel. I said it is a positive affirmation to ourselves.
They affirm you?
Yes.
And what do they affirm about you?
It affirms my being and the positivity in my being and the purpose in my being.
And you didn't feel that way prior to Black Lives Matter? You did not feel that way?
No.
Why not?
Because the way that society is set up, it makes me feel that as a woman, there are things that I shouldn't have. There's a specific way that I should act. And that because I'm Black, my chances of everything is significantly lowered.
So your parents did not make you feel worthy while raising you?
They told me I was beautiful.
And they didn't
told me I
affirm
was
you?
smart.
And you
They
didn't
told me
believe
I
them?
was important. But
Did
yes,
you
I
believe them?
believe them.
So
But
why do you need Black Lives Matter
because
to
the way that you are
affirm that?
treated and what you are told are two different things. My mom told me I was beautiful now and I was smart. But when I go into society, they don't see that beauty. They don't see that
Who don't
intellect.
see it?
Society. Just because I'm
Who
Black.
are you referring to in society?
I'm referring to the structure.
Are you
the
talking
way
about
the whole
white
system
people or
is set
Black
up.
people and white people and others? Who are you talking about? Are you talking about white people?
I'm not talking about a person.
Specifying any particular
I'm not talking about a person.
But somebody has to be the system that you're referring
It's a
to.
thinking. See, we have to
Who are you
understand that
referring
it's not
to?
a people.
But who are
it's
you
a thinking.
And who is
that's
thinking?
I'm referring to the
predominantly in a
government.
group
Who
of
is thinking
people.
this way?
The people who wrote our laws.
Who is that? Are you talking about white people, Black people, Mexican, or them all?
White people.
You talk about white
Mr.
people?
Peterson, if I
Hold
may.
on a minute. Hold on. I'll come to you. You talk about white people?
I gave you what you're looking for, huh?
No, are you talking about white people?
Yeah, I'm talking about anyone who wants or feeds into white supremacy in this structure.
So you're talking
anybody,
about
whether they
whites
be
and
white,
blacks
Black,
and
Asian,
others.
Latino, whoever.
Oh,
If you
okay.
agree with this white capitalist, white supremacist structure, then okay,
Andre-
that's for you. But if you don't agree, because there's a variety of all the races who don't agree,
So it's
as
not-
do agree.
Oh, okay. So Andre, you want to say something? Go ahead.
Yes. I wanted to say that I don't think it's a people. It seems to be a majority of people that have this racist thinking that I must keep this race oppressed so that I can stay superior. Although, I mean, our history do show.
Who are you referring to now?
I'm telling you that it's a thinking that's
And
in
who
society.
is doing this thinking in society?
It's been the Caucasian race for
So the white
ages.
race is holding you back.
No one's holding me back
The
because I
white
create
race
my
are
own.
discriminating against you.
Because of my race, yes. It's
So-
sad.
And they have
Hold
set
on.
up
Where's
a
your proof
system
of
to where
that?
they don't have to discriminate, but they have a system that does it.
Where's my proof?
Yeah.
The fact that as a young Black man growing up in a society, my parents had to tell me that I had to do things 4 times better than the Caucasian person just to survive in this country.
So your
But me
parents told you that?
Hold on. But me being a person that's objective and I can see both sides of the coin, I go into society, I do the same thing as my fellow classmates. Yet I realize that I do have to do more to get into society. The fact that before I go on the job interview, I have to figure out what I'm gonna do with my hair because my texture of hair is not what America deems job appropriate. So I have to go and cut my hair, although I believe that this is where my strength is, because I am the only person on this earth that has this kind of hair, that can have any hairstyle without doing anything.
You believe
to
your
it.
hair is your strength?
All of this is my strength. I have strength in here that I can't even contain.
Black
and I
lives-
think that is a reason why we have this issue with everything Black people do. Is called a protest, an outrage. Is because we are passionate people.
No, you're very angry people.
Oh,
Would you
are
include yourself in that?
No, I'm not angry.
I actually wanted to ask you, what is your
Hold
nationality?
on. I was angry like you people at one point.
I'm not angry.
But I
You're
was
not saying
able
that
to
I'm
overcome it, and I realized that I had been lied to. You guys, most Black people are so angry. You're at a point now that no race like you.
Okay, but
Not
can
just the
can
white race. Isn't that right? It's not just the
I
white
mean,
race.
200
The Hispanic.
years of racism.
The Hispanics don't like you.
60
The Blacks
years
don't
of
like
Jim Crow.
you
I
know.
mean, constantly being told that we're less than,
No,
yet
but-
you go and get Botox and tanning
Andre.
salons and
Okay.
all this to look like
Andre.
us. You
And
perm
to
your hair,
address
you
the-
crochet your hair to get
Andre,
locks,
Andre,
but we're
Andre.
ugly.
Andre,
I'm just
calm
saying,
down.
we would have a reason to be
So let me ask, how do you feel knowing that most races do not like Black people now because they're fed up with your bullying, they're fed up with your complaining and blaming and doing all that? You're turning off most people. How do you feel about that, Andre?
I would have to disagree with you on that statement, seeing that the
no, I hear from them all the
okay.
time.
Okay, hold on. Let me get
Jesse
my point
Lee
across.
is putting it down, bro.
You hear from them, but I
Jesse Lee
see
puts
them,
it
and I think
down.
actions are a lot better than words. When I see Black and Brown doing a march on Washington, that's race relations
Well,
right there. That's
those
great.
radical, angry,
That's
angry,
great. When I see Asian people standing outside the White House marching with Black Lives Matter, yes, yes. When I see people of other cultures going, you know what? See, this is what we have to do as a people. We have to wake up.
What do you
We got to
want?
stop
What
listening
is
to
it
this
that you
rhetoric
want?
that's in the media.
Michelle, what do you people want?
What do I want?
Michelle,
When you say you people, what do you mean?
the complaining Black people blaming others for the failure of their parents and their lives,
What complaint have we
blaming
made?
others for whatever it is you complain about. What is it exactly do you want from white people?
Dude, you got to hand it to Jesse for just calling, saying what he wants to say without worrying about nothing. He just says it, and he, and things that a lot of people would not be saying.
First of all, just let me take a breath.
Hang on, let's go back.
Or whatever it is you complain about. What is it exactly do you want from white people?
First of all, just let me take a breath. And
I'm trying to find out what you want.
She's about to lose it.
What's your nationality?
American.
Are you white?
I'm Black American.
Oh, okay.
What do you want?
You Caucasian.
Oh, you do? And why do you think that? Why do you think that?
Because you seem to separate yourself from us, should I say?
In
Put
what
us on
way?
the other
In
side
what
of the
way?
fence.
Always being divisive, man. Always dividing. Always trying to make smaller and smaller segments out of the population and making it. We're all human. We're all American. We're American. Amazing. A random consumer knows. Dude, I love Jesse Lee. Love that he just says it. And here we go.
In the ways that you because you seem to separate yourself from us, should I say?
In
Put
what
us on
way?
the other
In
side
what
of the
way?
fence. In the ways that you specified thus far.
Meaning what? Tell me, give me an example and tell me what you mean.
How you mean? How do what do you
Black
people want from
here
white
as
people?
you
Meaning
people,
that I'm not
including
with you.
yourself.
Oh, okay, I
It's
got
just
it.
y'all by yourself, right?
Let me explain why I do that. What you don't know is that there are two realities in life. One is that of good and one is that of evil. And now that I've been able to overcome evil, I don't identify with angry, evil Black people. I identify with other Blacks and others who are on the side of good. And so that's why I say you people, because I have to divide myself or separate myself from evil and go along with good. So that's why I do that.
What is it that makes us evil?
I'm sorry, your anger, your blaming others for your problems, your lack of love and respect for yourself and others.
Okay, well, that's another reason why I wanted to come on the show, because that has been a misrepresentation, right? We're not angry, we're not pointing a finger.
But you're blaming white people for your downfall.
No, we're not blaming white people for our downfall. Basically, we're just saying when the so-called Emancipation Proclamation was passed.
Someone's asking me, Medi, my name is Medi. Medi, Lumpy Bananarama. Medi, what is your race? You're clearly not white. A lot of people say I'm white. A lot of people think I'm a lot of different things, but my parents are Persian. I'm Persian. I'm American, but if you're trying to see, like my ancestors are Persian.
Home. I want police to
set in place to make sure Black people didn't make it that far.
What do you want at this point?
I want race to be taken off applications. Why? What does that have to do with anything? I want to stop seeing my fellow young people being gunned down in the streets for carrying a can of tea and a bottle of Skittles, walking home. I want
Which is
police
most
to stop
important?
using illegal chokeholds to take people down and then completely getting off of it. I want our politicians and our elected officials to see the people that march in these streets across this nation that's saying, wait, no, this is wrong. I want people to do their jobs. I want to
You've been
walk down the
brainwashed.
street and know that I'm safe.
You've been brainwashed.
No,
Check this
I
out.
feel
It's not
you
that we
have
want
been
something
brainwashed,
from white
sir.
people,
Well,
right?
what do you want?
We want to see, first of all, this fact is, yes, in LA, right? Yes, in Chicago, that if you're black, you basically will be persecuted.
Who are you referring to?
I'm referring to anyone, everyone who looks down upon black people, right? Who feels that if you have darker skin, that you have a lower
Have
status.
you been discriminated against?
Yes.
By whom?
By white people.
What did they do to you? Tell me what happened to you.
They told me that.
Lumpy is asking if I've ever experienced racism. You didn't feel any racism after 9/11? No, I think it's how you hold yourself, how you carry yourself. If I was like, I'm born and raised here and I'm American, but like if people were like upset at Arabs, I don't see racism. I don't think there is racism. I'm with Jesse Lee on this. There's no such thing as racism. I think he sells a shirt that says no such thing as racism and I might even buy that shirt. But there's no such thing as racism in my opinion. There's preferences. There's things that people prefer. And I also say the same thing about like what people call phobias, Islamophobia, this and that and the other. Like for example, and I always say this. Like for example, if I decide that I don't want, like, if I'm single and I don't want to date Arab women, is that racist of me? Is that racist? If I say, you know what, I don't want to date Arab women. Is that racist? If I say that I don't want to date Muslim women, does that make me Islamophobic? I think it's how you hold yourself, how you carry yourself, what mentality you have. I've heard people call me different names that people see that, that my parents are Persian, and they'll call me the sand N. There's the N word, but you put the word sand in front of it. I've been called that before in school, but I don't let it bother me, and I don't find it being racist. Kids say all kinds of stuff. Everyone said all kinds of stuff. So, I've been called that. Again, I don't see racism. I see, again, if I don't want to date Arab women, or if I don't want to date whatever, put Nigerian or put whatever race or whatever you want in there. That I don't think that makes me racist. It's not that I don't think. That's what I believe. So anyway, that's my 2 cents. And I don't think it's Islamophobic if I don't want to date Muslim women. Someone here said that makes me racist if I don't want to date Arab women. That's I think what the issue is right here. Or no, you're joking. Okay, I think you're joking. Okay. Yeah, so let's keep watching.
I needed to wear my hair a certain way in order to be groomed.
Who told you that?
All right, a supervisor.
At your job?
Yeah, at a previous job.
At a what?
A previous job. I don't work there anymore.
So you were working at this company, and you went in, you applied for the job, and you, at the time that you were applying for the job, you told them, if you pay me X amount of dollars, I would come every day, and I will follow your rules, and you took the job, right? Is that right?
Yes.
I'm sorry?
Yes.
They can't hear you.
Yes.
They can't hear you,
about to
Michelle. Come
lose
on.
it.
So when you agreed to do that job and follow their standards, their rules, you didn't mean it?
Yes, I did, but culture is,
you didn't mean
everybody
it?
has different culture.
So you meant to follow their rules. Did you know about the hair deal before taking the job?
No, they said, right,
They said what?
groomed means you got up and you did your hair, you did your face, you're aware of your whole appearance, right?
Right. And so you went in there with what, an afro or something?
something similar.
What you did? What you go in there with?
With a ponytail with the afro and a little bang in the front.
And they say
nice.
no, you can't wear that hairstyle.
They said it's just not it doesn't look professional, and they just made a recommendation, but they didn't say, oh, our rules prohibit you, but they said, oh, look, I just want to make a nice recommendation.
Right. And did they have a right to make that recommendation?
No, they didn't have a right.
Did they own the company?
No, they did not own the company.
Who owned the company?
The owner nobody owned the company.
Somebody have to own the company?
Nobody, it wasn't a company.
These people can't communicate. Will you? Folks up here.
So just so you guys know, the other Black Lives Matter people, like maybe higher ups, are in the crowd or are sitting around where you can't see them, and they're kind of sometimes like coaching the two that are sitting on the couch. And I will say this straight up: as a business owner myself, I own 3 and more than 3, depending on how you interpret that. But I own 3 businesses. At least, and I'll say straight up, it's really, really, really hard to develop and create and run a successful business that actually makes profit. It's really hard, and it takes a long time to do it. And if someone has a business and someone is hiring, then the people that are either the owners or the managers or people operating the business have the right to have a preference on how they run the business and who is part of the business and how they're presented and how they present themselves when they're representing the business. That's just how it is. You know what I'm saying? So, it doesn't, it says here, Med, you think your hair is important with business? I think lots of things are important. I've been in sales for a large portion of my adult life, and so a lot of things are important. Hair is important. How you present yourself is important. How you take care of yourself. How you groom yourself. If I'm running a business, bro, and I need you to go make money and make sales or do whatever the case is, or customer service or front facing, dude, you know how hard I've worked to create a business and make it successful, and every little thing is important. Everything's important. Your appearance is important. It's all important. And whoever thinks it's not, go create your own business and use the rules that you want to use, and hopefully you'll be successful. And that's one of the things that Jesse Lee Peterson says. He says, dude, why can't you guys create your own businesses? Why do you guys always have to rely on everybody else? Go get a job, and if you're going to go get a job, you got to do what the job requires you to do. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the things about people that are being raised on welfare is like when you try to put them in the real world, they're the people that are first ones to go yell at their managers and get themselves fired or quit a job because, oh, why am I working so many hours for little pay? Because that's how it works. You start off working a lot of hours for less pay, and then slowly you get better, you find a better job, you do this, do that, move up, all kinds of stuff. That's how it works. You know what I'm saying? But if you're not used to it, all of a sudden it's like this weird thing. Well, I have to work. I have to listen to other people. Yeah, that's how it works. If you don't want to listen to nobody and you want to make money and you don't want to be on welfare and take handouts from people when you're an able-bodied person, then create your own business and go by your own rules.
Oh, wow.
I'm not getting the real answers or anything.
I think you've
Where
gotten
you
some
getting
very
these people
clear.
from?
Excuse me, sir.
You
Can
guys
you
are not
offend
even
my-
communicating. I thought this
Excuse
was
me,
going to
can
be
you not
like
offend my intelligence while I'm sitting right in front of you? You asked me for clear answers. I gave you clear answers.
I thought this
you
was gonna-
choose to have
But
a
you guys are
discussion
not
with
even
the sister
discussing.
because
I'm trying to get some understanding to what is wrong and what we can do about the problem, but you guys won't really
Okay, I can tell you,
communicate and telling me.
you're focusing on problem, but you're not
I'm trying
focusing
to-
on the solution,
I'm trying-
right?
and we'll get to
And
that.
you want to know what the solution would be?
No, we need to find out what is the problem. Have you been discriminated against? Who discriminated against you, and why?
I've been discriminated against. I've been told
it was the
that I had to
policy
get a
that
haircut.
allowed the recommendation to even come in. So it's policies that are created that people have to go by that.
Yeah, right here. Who was it? Yeah, Lisa Young Hopkins. Yes, your looks are important. Your attitude is important. Companies have rules, and you must do as the company policies are. Everyone starts and works their way up. Yeah, that's how it works. That's exactly how it goes down. That's how these things work. If you don't want to, go by the, other companies' policies, create your own business and go by your own policies.
Perpetrate discrimination.
Was this with a private business that you were working for?
No,
at the
it was
time?
not
Was it a
private
government business?
Yes, it was.
And so the government rules are you can wear your hair any kind of way you want to?
As long as it's decent.
And so did your supervisor approach you about your hair once you got this job?
Be more specific in your
You said
question.
you got this job, and did you quit the job or you got fired?
I quit.
You quit, and you quit because of they recommend a different hairstyle.
No, that's not the reason why I quit.
Why did you quit?
Because I felt that I wanted more fulfilling work.
So where's the racism in that then? You quit because you were not fulfilled. You said that was an example of you being discriminated against.
Right, but
now
that's just something that black people on a daily basis we have to work through.
So was
Dang, you guys in the chat called it. She was lying. She wasn't even fired. She quit. You guys were right in the chat, dude. You guys called it out. I saw that way earlier. Yeah, that's
I
right.
have to work through that, right?
So
I
was
have to conform to that.
So was it racism
ultimately,
or you wanted to be fulfilled?
Mr. Peterson?
Wait a
it
minute,
was
I'll
an
come to you right
instance
after this.
on the job. It wasn't the final conclusion on the job.
So you quit because you wanted to be fulfilled, not because of discrimination about your hair.
Right.
But you just said that was
a problem.
But it had nothing to do with racism. You was not fulfilled. Why did you try to make that into racism?
But it's discrimination that we face, that all black people face on a daily basis, that we have to work through because it's like, okay, hey, am I going to tell them, fuck you, I'm going to wear my hair the way I want to, or am I going to work this out to
Michelle,
the next week and make sure that I can get a
because
check?
you have not given me an example of you being discriminated against. I asked for an example.
Not valid enough for
Both
you.
of you are running around crying racism.
I'm not
and
crying
yet
racism.
You haven't given me an
Can you
example.
stop doing
Hold
that?
on.
I didn't say racism, I said discrimination.
You haven't given me an example of you being discriminated against.
Okay. He's
right.
Have you been discriminated against?
Yes, I have been discriminated
And
against.
who discriminated against
An
you?
employer discriminated against me. They asked me to cut my hair.
Was it a white man or a white
This
person?
was a Caucasian female.
Okay, and so, private job?
No,
Private.
this is a public sector job.
Okay, so you filled out the application.
I filled out the application.
And you said on the app that I will follow the rules if
That
you
I
pay
would
me
follow
X
the
amount of
rules.
dollars.
Yes.
And did you have the afro at the time?
Yes, I had my afro at the time.
And they still hired you?
And they hired me.
And so you went in and they said what to you? This is a white female boss, right?
Yes.
Okay.
After
And this is
after
a government
doing a
job.
great job.
And so you go into the office, she called you in.
Yes.
And she says what to you about your hair?
She told me that I had to cut my hair, that my hair had gotten too long and looked unmanaged.
Oh, okay. And what's wrong with that?
A lot is wrong with that.
Why? Why don't you want to look? I wouldn't hire you with that hair looking like that.
Why?
It's not. It doesn't
That's
look.
my natural hair texture.
It doesn't look professional.
Yeah, I'm not feeling this.
It doesn't look professional.
Look, they're leaving. Look.
Hold on.
Look, these are Black Lives Matter.
Now you can stay, baby, and
Yeah.
I really don't know you.
Why is she? Why is she brought you
You're
around?
traumatizing them.
You're traumatizing them.
Yes,
That's what she
Google
said.
me. My name's Jasmine Abdullah. I just sat here.
Are you her boss or something?
No, it's about black love.
Why are you
It's about
pushing her
love, and
around?
You see how they're doing this because you're hurting them.
Why are you
You're
pushing them
hurting
around?
them, and you know they don't know what to say. You're eating them up right now.
You're boxing everything in. This is not an open discussion
And
at
that's just
all.
hurtful. I love you. I'm not angry with you. I love you and I feel sorry for you. I feel really bad for you. I love you. You got a lot of self-hate.
Stop pushing her around.
And it radiates.
Brother, you got a
and
lot
comes
of
out on
self-hate.
others.
Don't let that lady push you around.
No lady
It's
is
not
pushing
a-
me
no.
around because I feel more
It's
attacked
about
coming
love.
from you, right?
Yeah.
He stayed there because
I
he's
feel
evil.
attacked
He stayed
by
there because he's a
you,
man.
but
No, you can't
I,
punk me.
I fight.
You do?
I stand in my
Okay. All right.
Proving Jesse right. Exactly.
We agreed to have an open conversation, not to be boxed into particular.
Exactly. Proving Jesse right.
Well, actually, I think that's probably the best thing for her.
I know I should have, but
We're trying to do a TV show. Don't engage. Continue the show.
Is that a strong woman leaving?
Honestly, I think that was the best decision for her to make. I think it was the best decision for her to make because she is.
That Jesse leans in, bro. I love it. Is that a strong woman leaving?
Younger than I.
I'm sorry?
She is younger than I.
Anyway, I appreciate you coming, Andre. Andre Shirley.
Hopefully this inspired some black youth to actually get up and let their voices be heard. Apparently society will not understand if we don't just come and
thank you,
Random, I agree, bro.
Give me a
I
handshake then. Thank you.
No
appreciate you
problem,
coming. All right, thank you.
Dang, bro. Jesse Lee Peterson, guys. Woo! The one and only, guys. He is the one and only. There are so many good clips from Jesse Lee. Let's see.
Did you vote for the Great White Hope?
You calling Donald Trump the Great White Hope?
That's right.
The Great White Hope, baby. Let's go. The Great White Hope. Here we go. You guys ready? Let's go. Ready, set, go.
Did you vote for the Great White Hope?
You calling Donald Trump the Great White Hope?
That's right.
Okay, the big orange disaster is what I call him. Yeah.
Did you vote for him, first of all?
No.
Do you want to be forgiven for what you've done in the past? Because that's not who you are today?
No, that is who he is today. That is
Are you the same person today as you were in the past?
I'm not.
But why?
I'm not.
Why is it that you're not, but he can't change?
He hasn't shown change.
So
why do you love this man? What does this man do? Do you like black people? What did your black skin ever do to you?
Why
Mr.
are you asking me
Peterson?
that? Well, haven't I shown I love black people?
You have shown it.
All good, Jordan. You can hate me, bro. It's all good. Nothing but love. Nothing but love. Discovery through live streams. We're talking. It's all about dialogue. We watch some clips. Let's go.
Too strongly.
The Great White Hope.
Despise black people.
By doing what?
Saying stuff like the Great White Hope.
I have T-shirts that says the Great White Hope.
But I gotta ask you a question.
Also,
please.
listen, you didn't know this about me. I call Obama the fallen messiah. He's married to Big Mama, and he's afraid of his wife.
Mr. Peterson.
The reason I'm telling you the truth about it because you people are being controlled.
people?
The blacks are being controlled.
You were not one of us?
I'm not a one of you as
And
far
we're-
as
we're not
being
black,
controlled and manipulated.
You
and
wanna be
you've
white,
been
huh?
told that the white man, you've been told that the white man is doing this to you, and you believed it to a lie, and that's how you've been controlled, when it really was the blacks and the Arabs who sold you to others, to whites and to other blacks, because blacks had slaves in
Where
the
did
country
your
too. Did you know that blacks had slaves here as well? Are you proud of the great job that the Great White Hope has done in the first year in office as president?
Who's the Great White Hope?
The president. President Trump.
Yeah, baby. The Great White
Try to
Hope.
shake his hand. Try to shake his hand and see
Right,
if you
and
shake
see
your
if he
hand.
pass you up.
So
Stick
you're
your
not-
hand out, try to shake his hand and see if you shake your hand.
Right.
And see how much you love your White Hope.
So you're not proud of what he's done?
No.
Did
Great
you
White.
vote for
This is
him?
the Great White Hope,
Did you
guys,
vote
right
for
here.
him?
No.
Do you vote?
No.
Oh, Israelites don't vote?
No.
Oh, okay. And you're not proud of the Great White Hope either?
You are?
I don't call him the Great White Hope,
You
first
proud
of
of
all,
him?
but no, I'm not proud of Trump.
Very
You
much
put
so.
the country first. And my last question, did you have fun?
I don't even know how to answer that, man. I'm kind of like sad, man, because
Yeah,
of the way
I am
your
too.
views.
Yeah.
It's not fun
That you
to hear
don't love
talk
your
like
people.
that.
You're one
Did
of
you have
us.
fun?
No.
You didn't have fun. Did you have fun?
I had a good time, but I would have had a better time if you were in a different place than
frame.
where you are.
I've
Your
been there
different mind
before,
frame.
but God took the anger away. He set me free.
We're not
Did
angry
you have
people.
fun?
We're not.
I love that answer, bro. I love the answer. And look at them trying to control everything around them instead of controlling themselves. When you think you can walk around this earth and try to control every single thing around you, you're living in a fantasy land. Why do you want to change Jesse Lee Peterson so that you can feel a certain way about yourself?
Angry people. Yeah, you real funny.
Thank you all for tuning in. So you believe in destroying whiteness, you will destroy white supremacy. I'm reading here. Is that right?
Yes, white supremacy is the structure.
Why do black people see white, well, most blacks, not all, the good ones don't, but why do most black people like yourself see white people as supreme over them?
I think that, again, is a mischaracterization. It's not about individual white people, but a larger system and structure that provides certain sets of unearned privileges and ascribes status to white people and white bodies and those that adopt white ideologies.
I'm not understanding though. And Sarah, make it a little simpler for me and the people who are listening and watching.
Well, let me break it down. Let me break it down like this.
You see white people as supreme over you because
We don't.
You guys have spent 60 years complaining and watching and complaining about white people, where in the good old days when men were men and boys were boys, blacks were not doing that.
Our religious heritage is rooted in the regrettable experience of slavery.
You used to be enslaved?
Yes, we used to be slaves.
You were a slave at one time?
No, I was not. I was born in the 1950s, so slavery was long gone by then. But I still experience the legacy of slavery.
How?
And the
In
legacy
what way?
of discrimination.
In what way?
When I experience barriers that exist simply because of the color of my skin, those barriers are still real and they still exist.
So how did you get to APU and do all that, be the dean and do all that if barriers are in your way?
Yeah, that's amazing, isn't it? It's a miracle. That's a miracle.
Is it possible because they were not there? At least not from the white folks.
That who was not there?
Barriers were not there. It was all in your mind. It's not real.
You're still a black man, right?
But let me ask. If black, why is it that black men, like all other races of men, why don't you stop begging the white man to give you a job and all that, instead build your own job?
I promote that. I promote doing for
no,
yourself.
You're not. You're blaming the white man don't give you work.
What did you
You're
say?
saying the white man won't give you a job.
I said promote jobs. I didn't say give me a job. I believe in doing for yourself. I believe in creating your own businesses.
Why
That's
do you
what
need
I promote.
the white man to promote jobs? Why don't you promote them? What's different about the white man than you?
Oh, let's see. He stole everything he has. He got 246
What has
years.
he stolen from you?
Free labor from black people.
What has
black
he
people
stolen
built
from
this
black
country.
people today?
Oh, he stole our culture. He stole our language. He stole our heritage. He stole our labor. He murdered and slaughtered our children, our babies, our women, our men. Do we need to continue? Stole inventions that we couldn't patent because they created a patent office.
What's your language that they stole?
The different African dialects they stole. We didn't come here speaking English.
But white people speak English. They don't speak African dialect.
So, when we came
Seriously.
off the ships, we didn't speak English, so you stole our language.
What do you mean?
I gotta get some JLP shirts, bro. I gotta get some of his shirts. There is no such thing as racism. That's one of them, and we'll look at them right now. Another one is beta.
Happy and saying that's enough. When will we be happy and saying that's enough? When will we know that they're satisfied? Because they wanted affirmative action, we gave them that. Okay. They wanted to get into the white school, we let them get into that without earning. They want to move into the white communities. Okay. We let them do that without earning it. Mm-hmm. And now they want reparations. They even wanted.
Dude is taking up a whole. Look at the difference of the couch. This is the same couch. Dude gives no shits. Look at him. Look at him. Look at Jesse Lee on his couch. He's like half of the couch. If you scoot it over, you still have another half of that couch left, or whatever that chair is. This dude's got the whole. This dude just don't care about nothing, bro. Just hand to mouth, hand to mouth, hand to mouth, hand to mouth. Whoo! Here we go.
The white woman. So we gave up the white woman to them.
Yeah, that's what they'll tell you, Jose. He's a perfectly healthy man. Fat is beautiful. Okay, bro.
Remember that?
Wait.
Don't call anyone fat. You might hurt their feelings. Get out of here, bro.
No. So
Jordan White. Yeah, Medikation didn't get a higher education. Oh, burn. You got me, bro. Oh, man, you really got me. Ah.
You're not calling yourself black, is what you're
I
saying.
am black, but I'm not into the black thing.
Okay, gotcha.
And so we gave them the white woman. When will it be enough?
Well, I think the thing
when
is...
would they say, okay, white folks, we had enough, we got what we need?
I can't give you a short answer to that. Again, it's complicated because it goes back to that concept of retention, right? Where you're saying that, okay, black people have gotten all this stuff, they've done this. Well, again, the research shows that you can put several black people into a space within the organization.
And they'll destroy it.
No, I'm not going to say that.
You got to agree that everything black people touch, they destroy it.
Oh, no, I can't
Tell
agree
me
with that
one
all the
thing
way.
that they built, majority of black people live, or majority of black people did, and you want to live there.
Atlanta is a great place. Why
No,
not
it's
live there?
not.
You don't
There were
Benjamin's got his medication, bro.
and in one incident, the cops were trying to make an arrest. Some black people threw water on the cops. They threw an item and hit the cops in the back of the head.
Speaking about medication, who was it here? Who is it here? Damn, is it gone? Why am I missing this chat right here? Where is it at? Oh, I missed it. He says he got his medication. He's blazing. A question that I have is, do you think Donald Trump is going to legalize cannabis? And the argument a lot of people say is, dude, if alcohol is legal, then cannabis is not as bad as alcohol, right? So why is it not legal?
Another incident, they attacked the cops as well. Is that black brutality on cops?
Oh, God, no. When you're defending yourself,
Can you
that's
play
just
those
common
soundbites?
sense.
Outrage this morning over the complete disrespect towards New York City Police Department officers being drenched with water, all caught on cell phone video.
Oh my God, they came over here to talk to them that they violated. Yo, they violated them.
And that's not the only one. A separate incident on the other side of town. This video showing a bucket being hurled at a cop.
Are you proud of your people for acting that way?
I'm proud of people defending themselves. And
Blah, blah, blah. I don't know what you're trying to say here, but I'll tell you, I'm not afraid to give any of you guys my opinion. So here we go. As a white American-born Persian man, you haven't experienced racism, and you're laughing at people who feel they have experienced racism, I'm assuming, and telling them there is no racism. You're gaslighting them. Listen to your own statement. Blah, blah, blah. It says, you haven't experienced racism and you're laughing at people who feel they have. Guys, get out of your feelings. Get out of your head. Come back to reality. Stop letting your feelings control who you are and what you do and what you say and how you act. Get out of your feelings, man. Just because you choose to digest words people say a certain way doesn't make you like have this special place where we can't say anything and we have to call something racism and we have to create all this stuff. And that's not how that works. Get out of your feelings, come into reality, and we'll go from there. Racism. Stop it, bro. Act like the person who you think you are, and don't listen to what people say about you. What people say about you should not mean anything to you. If you know who you are, you're good. I didn't experience racism. Why? Because of how I digested what people did around me, what people said to me. If I digested it a different way, then yeah, I would be here saying, yes, I experienced racism because I'm Persian and I'm a minority, and because you know, people didn't see me as blonde and blue-eyed, that I experienced racism, and I can't believe how horrible it was growing up here in Southern California and around all these white men with blonde hair and blue eyes and making more money than me, and they had better things than me. And it's like, it's all how I digest it, bro. It's all how you digest it. Get out of your feelings and learn how to digest things differently. Learn how to use your brain in a better way for yourself. Doesn't change. How you digesting doesn't do anything to me, and I don't care. You can do whatever you want. You could call it racism. You could think you're this, that, and the other, and I don't care, bro. Do with your sensory things what you want to do. Leave us out of it, bro. And stop trying to control everything around you. Start looking at the man in the mirror, the woman in the mirror, the they, them in the mirror, the it in the mirror. If you're non-binary, the zizu, zizam in the mirror, whatever you call yourselves, bro. Stop it, bro. Stop trying to control everything else around you. Racism does not exist. It's in your head. Be the person you want to be and stop trying to change the world around you and label everyone and put everyone in boxes and all this kind of stuff. Leave us alone, bro.
And police officers that act like they are actually serving people when in fact they are using the badge under color of law to murder Black people. That should be the issue.
What those Black people did to those cops, was that wrong?
No, not when you're defending yourself. I don't think
white people do not feel that way.
You can't speak for all white people. You ain't even white, Jesse.
The Blacks who are insecure, the Blacks who are insecure feel that white people
That's not
think
true.
that they're
We're not talking
supreme.
about white people. We are talking about structural racism, Jesse.
You're projecting.
We're not projecting.
Yes, you are.
No, we're talking about systemic racism. You have a beautiful placard here that talks about drinking fountains.
Right.
Right? And so when white folks are legislating where Black people can get access to water, that is a structural form of racism.
But even when they had the for colors only drinking fountain, for white only, Blacks were still doing better then than they are today because the men were not sitting around whining like little girls talking about white people holding them back. Do you realize you're fighting an illusion? That what you're fighting
I'm not fighting an illusion. I deal with it every
real?
day. I confront it every day. People of color confront it every day.
How do you know what white people are imagining?
Because we talk to them, Jesse. All right.
How
so
do
when we're
we
talking
know
about
you're not making that up? Because liberals tend to lie. They don't tell the truth. Do you believe that all lives matter?
All lives should be equal to each other, but it just seems disproportionately that Black lives are getting gunned down more than others.
Do you believe that all lives matter?
All lives should matter.
Do you believe that all lives matter?
Jesse does the big
Should
breath
matter.
like him. Look.
Do you believe that all lives matter?
All lives should matter, yes.
That's not the question.
That's the answer.
So you don't believe all lives matter?
No, of course. So all lives do matter, yes, but you have to break that down even more. It's not as simple as that.
Okay. Do
I just said,
all,
no.
All
Not breaking it down.
lives matter.
Not breaking it down like that. Of course, all lives matter.
Why is that hard to say? All Black lives matter. Why their lives don't matter when they kill each other?
So that's a fair question. I have to be honest with. That is a problem in the Black community.
Why don't you, if you people are so unhappy with America, and you call yourselves African American, mommy Africa, right? Why don't you go back to your country?
Well, first of all, because Black folk are the owners of the
Mommy Africa, right? And you call yourself
community.
Are so unhappy with America, and you're happy with. Why don't you, if you people are so unhappy with America, why don't you, if you people are so unhappy with America, and you call yourselves African American, mommy Africa, right? Why don't you go back to your country?
Well, first of all, because Black folk are the owners of the whole planet, everywhere belongs to us. And you can't say because you criticize, that makes you the most patriotic because you criticize so that America correct itself. I'm the most patriotic person you'll ever find because I want America to correct herself.
That's amazing. And correcting herself mean to do what?
And you can't say because
Hold on, let's go back. Hold on.
African American. Why don't you, if you
honest with, that is a problem in the black community.
Why don't you, if you people are so unhappy with America, and you call yourselves African American, mommy Africa, right? Why don't you go back to your country?
Well, first of all, because black folk are the owners of the whole planet, everywhere belongs to us. And you can't say because you criticize, that makes you the most patriotic because you criticize so that America correct itself. I'm the most patriotic person you'll ever find because I want America to correct herself.
That's amazing. And correcting herself mean to do what?
Correct herself meaning to stop murdering us, to cease and desist killing us, cease and desist raping and robbing, cease and desist the unjust incarcerating of our people, cease and desist flooding our communities with drugs and alcohol, cease and desist poisoning our waters, cease and desist holding on to resources that never belonged to them in the first place and for benefiting from those things. Those are the things that I want them to do. And to, you know what? Show us the money.
With
Show me the money.
See, I told you want money.
Yes,
They
because it belongs
They
to
want
us.
reparations, bro. They want money.
You want affirmative action?
Affirmative action was necessary.
We have given you people.
Who's we?
Hold on. Someone's asking, who is this guy? This is Jesse Lee Peterson, guys. Come on now. You got to know JLP, dog. Come on, baby. This is Jesse Lee Peterson, guys. Come on.
America. We have given you people.
Who's we?
America. We have given you people. We gave you this. What?
We've given you people. Go ahead.
We gave you the civil rights movement. We allowed you to sit in white cafes, and we giving you the white. You say, "Oh, that's not enough. We want white. We want to go to school with the white people." And then you said, "I want to live in the white communities." And so we gave you the white community, even though you turned them into ghettos. We gave you white communities.
Did black people turn them into ghettos?
And then you said, that's not enough. That's not enough. We want to go to a white school, but we are not smart enough. You have to lower the grades.
Did we turn them into the ghetto?
How much more do you want?
Did we turn them into the ghetto?
We even gave you the white woman.
That's what got us in trouble.
The blacks start begging for the white women.
Why? What did we turn the neighborhoods into the ghetto?
The blacks do. Do you notice that most black people believe in social? So we gave them the schools, right?
Who is we, Mr. Peterson?
American people. We the
No,
American
but we.
Right.
What side are you on? Like
on the right side.
Right.
Right.
So when they were opposing black people for all these things, that was the side that was the right side?
Yes.
What did your black skin ever do to you?
So I'm not done with this yet. So we gave them the schools, right?
You are really amazing. Go ahead, sir. Go
Okay.
ahead. This is amazing.
Then we gave them the schools. And then they said, well, we want to go and live in their community. We don't like our black community. We want to live with the white people.
Can I tell you?
And so we said, okay, y'all go live with the white people. That's fine, right? Mm-hmm. And then
we said.
And then they wanted to go into the. And then they said, we want reparations. And they're like, we just gave you everything you want. What do you want? They said, we want food stamps, we want. How do you people ever plan to get ahead?
You people?
Meaning black people.
Us people, you mean, because you black too.
How do you ever plan to get ahead in life?
You really said you people. He said you people. That's what he said, you people. No, wait a minute. Us. Okay, all right. Us people.
God, you gotta love Jesse, bro. You gotta love Jesse, man. JLP, bro. He's getting older now. He's getting older. But you gotta love JLP, man. You gotta love him.
What's her first name?
Her name is Melina.
What's her first? You ever heard of her? What's her first name?
Her name is Melina.
Melina.
Abdullah.
Abdullah.
Dr. Melina Abdullah.
Yeah, such an evil woman. Why would they let a woman like that teach at a university and corrupt other black students who are coming through there with that kind of wickedness?
Well,
You ever heard of her?
I know Melina very well. She's my sister. She is.
Oh, you know her?
She's my former chair.
She's your sister?
Well, yes, my sister's sister. She's my sister because.
Oh, your black sister.
My black sister.
Oh, why do you associate with a woman like that?
As often as I can.
But she's so evil. Aren't you concerned?
Have you
about
met
it?
her?
She's the co-founder of Black Lives Matter.
I guess my question is, why are you calling her evil?
Because that organization is evil, so evil produces evil and good produces good, right?
Well, why?
But what's your impression of that
Evil.
organization and that woman?
My impression of Melina, of Black Lives Matter as a whole, I think that they're doing good work. I think it's necessary. It's not for everybody. I'm not a member, so to speak, for Black Lives Matter, but I do what I can.
Are you a Christian?
I am.
And you agree with those people? Oh, Melissa,
I believe that Black Lives Matter.
Do you agree with those people?
I believe Black Lives Matter.
How about with this is Black Lives Matter organization? You agree with them?
I don't know everything about the intricacies of their philosophies.
They're evil.
But I have not come across any evil. I've worked with some of
What
the
do we
national
want
leadership.
pigs in the blanket? What do we want dead cops?
Well,
is that evil?
So I think that part of that is that's not necessarily like the leadership. That when you have a movement,
But they have to take responsibility.
they do have to
organize
take
the organization.
responsibility for it. But if they're asking for dead cops or pigs in a blanket, then that's a reaction from the community.
No, but formed by Black Lives Matter.
Formed by Black Lives Matter may come and they may help to galvanize these groups, but individuals are going to say what they can't be held responsible for every single individual opinion.
Is that evil?
What is what evil?
What do we want? Pigs in the blanket, dead cops, and screaming for
I
that.
mean, I think
is that
to
evil
ask for
to
anybody-
chant that kind of stuff?
I think any murder of innocent life is evil.
So how about chanting, what do we want? Pigs in the blanket. What do we want? Dead cops. Did you know it was founded by some fat black lesbians?
Wow.
Did you know it was founded by some fat black lesbians?
Wow. So, okay. So first of all,
Did you know that?
What we're not going to do is insult.
Well, they claim to be lesbians, and they're fat, and they're black. I
Well-
didn't do it.
well-
So do you believe that Black Lives
He
Matter?
says, "I didn't do
I
it."
do.
What does that mean?
Black Lives Matter means that black people and their full humanity, right, their lives should not be harmed or stolen by state-sanctioned violence.
Who does it matter to?
Black lives should matter not only to us, but to everybody.
Not sure, but who does it matter to?
Everybody.
Like who, for example?
Everybody who's a contact in your phone, all the people here, whether we're talking about the state, whether we're talking about the government, whether we're talking about the police, whether we're talking about people in our community.
Does Black Lives matter to black people?
Absolutely.
Why are they killing each other?
So to get to that point, I think.
Did you know it was founded by some fat black lesbians?
Wow. So, okay. So first of all.
Did you know that?
What we're not going to do is insult.
Well, they claim to be
what is
lesbians,
gender
and they're fat,
studies?
and they're black.
So gender studies is sometimes.
What is gender studies, guys? Did any of you guys that have been in the school system recently ever? I never studied gender studies, thank goodness. Have any of you guys ever been in gender studies? Check this out.
And what is gender studies?
So gender studies is sometimes you'll hear, sometimes departments are called women's studies, sometimes they're called gender studies. They have a history that goes back to what's often called the second wave women's movement in the 1970s. They didn't exist before that. But they are departments that specialize in studying relations of gender. And so what is gender? Well, typically the way I teach it in my sociology of gender class is that there is biological sex, and these are the differences, physical differences
Between male and
between
female.
male and female,
Okay.
yes. And then gender are the social meaning that we give to those physical differences. And so, I mean, much like race, right? There are some phenotypical differences between people, but the concept of race is a really socially constructed one that depends, in this country is largely constructed through the history of slavery, et cetera. It's a social arrangement, and similarly with gender. So the fact that, pilots are more often men than women. That's not due to some biological difference. That's due to social differences that we ascribe to, at the end of the day, pretty small biological differences.
Meaning that a man who is a pilot is more likely to get you there safely than a woman because he won't freak out if something should go wrong.
Well, so that those I love that you raised that.
You gotta
so
love
that
Jesse,
that
bro.
idea that like women are non-rational or
Right.
hysterical. That is a kind of that is a stereotype. You know, stereotypes or preconceived notions that are completely false of African Americans being less intelligent than white. It's completely unfounded.
Is that unfounded? I thought that was true.
Based on what my research know, it's absolutely not true. But it's a very useful way to justify subordinating a group. And similarly, for women, you put your finger right on it. You know, women being more emotional is one of the ways that they have been said, well, this person couldn't possibly be in a position of power or control because, you know, how could they have access to like nuclear weapons, right? When they're on their period, they're just going to press it. They
But
tend
who's
to
more
vary
likely
by
to
day.
who's more likely to freak out in a situation, a man or a woman?
I don't know that we know that.
I noticed that when lately I get on a plane and sometimes I see females who are pilots, but there are men with them too.
Making sure they don't freak out.
Right. I remember once I got on a small plane going from somewhere to somewhere, and there were two female pilots, right? I felt very concerned, very concerned. Whereas had it been two men, I would have felt no concern about it because I know that women tend to overreact to things because of their emotions.
I think
And
that.
do you study why that is?
Well, what we would study is why you would feel that way, and that, you know, and how those fears that are actually not, you know, not any more grounded than some of the other stereotypes we have of other people. It's the white men who are more likely to be the pilots and the surgeons and the CEOs, and women of all races and men of color who tend to be moved into, you know, tend to be have a harder time in those more powerful positions. And so we, you know, in sociology of gender today, and it hasn't always been the case, Black feminists have accused, very rightly so, a lot of feminist authors and gender studies authors for not sufficiently taking into account race. And so I think the best work happening now in gender studies is intersectional.
Do you like being a man?
Yes.
You do like being a man, but thinking like a woman. Do you like being a man?
Yes.
You do like being a man, but thinking like a woman.
I don't think I think like a woman. I think like a man.
No, you don't. I'm here to tell you, you don't.
I think what you're trying to say is I appear to be thinking in feminine ways.
No, you think like a woman.
I don't think so.
I want to be real clear.
Okay.
You think like a woman. Do you like being a man?
Yes.
You do like being a man, but thinking like a woman.
I don't think I think like a woman. I think I think like a man.
No, you don't. Everybody.
You said sick and dogs on them? What'd you say?
I said that white people are sick of the blacks. Did you know that there were, I think, something like 4,000 black-owned slaves, blacks who own slaves?
4,000 blacks who own slaves?
In Kentucky or
no.
one of those areas.
What source is that? No, what's your source?
You didn't know that?
No,
huh?
what's the source?
All your little black supremacy book, you didn't look that up.
No.
You believe that racism exists?
Yes.
And what is racism?
So racism is the unfair treatment of one group of people based on their race, or the belief that one group of people is inferior solely based off their race. So
you are racist for believing that black people are superior to others?
For saying that we have superior resilience.
Are you a racist for believing that black people are superior to all other races, you said?
No, I'm not racist.
But you just said that was racism.
No, I said that. No, I said
white people are sick of the black people.
Got him, bro.
Everybody.
You said sick and dogs on them? What'd you say?
I said that white people are sick.
I made a reel about this interview, and here's that interview. It's about reparations. Do you guys believe in reparations? Any of you guys in the chat, do you guys believe in paying reparations to black people because of past slavery? Just curious. I'm going. This is my Instagram right here. Here. Ready? Here we go.
Money for what my ancestors.
You guys ready? This is the same guy we just watched. Here we go.
I want money for what my ancestors went through.
And how much do you want?
Give me between 300,000 to $1 million.
You personally want 300,000 to $1 million
Yes.
of your reparation money.
Right.
And what did you do to earn that money?
I was born, and I come from the lineage of Black American slaves, and we never got our reparations.
At what point will the blacks stop begging and blaming?
Begging?
And blaming.
Who's begging?
The blacks.
I don't know who's begging.
For
What are they begging for?
reparations?
Arguing that we
action?
deserve reparations and affirmative action.
When will they stop begging?
When you give it to us.
And what is it that you want?
I want reparations. I want my money.
You want money.
Yes.
Your money.
I'm a foundational Black American. I want money for what my ancestors went through.
Damn, bro. Damn, bro. Ugh. That's just. You were never a slave, and we were never slave owners. Never happened. And by the way, Africans are the ones that rounded up and sold the slaves. Right? Wow, guys. Wow, wow, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Holy cow.
Him randomly.
Better known as Just Pearly Things. Just Pearly Things. She is an internet personality and content creator. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Amazing. So you came a long ways from England.
Yeah, London.
London.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. How is it in London now?
In terms of what?
Like, don't they have like a lot of Allah Abba people, like a lot of Muslims and
Yeah, where I live.
going through the roof and
Yeah,
things
yeah,
like that?
yeah. There's a lot of Muslim people where I live. A lot of people will say it's like very dangerous here. I've never really had a problem. Like,
Over there or here?
Oh no, people here will like say that London's super dangerous.
Right.
But I've never really had an issue. It might be, but not to me.
There are certain neighborhoods you can't go into though, right?
Yeah, I live in the hood though, so I was like.
You live in the hood?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
And what's the hood considered over there? What is called? Is it like over here?
No, I would say the ones here are probably worse.
Yeah.
It's not great though. Yeah.
Right. And so you're called Just Pearly Things. What is your podcast about? What do you deal with?
So surprised. In Ireland, it's 35 and 34. So the higher they are, I think they're the more modern. But the UK is 31 and like 30, or 31 and 32. The US is 27 and 28.
Amazing.
So I'd say it's a little bit more modern.
Really?
But not much. It's kind of
okay.
The mindset's the same. It's not. That's why I say I forget I'm in the UK sometimes.
So do you hope to get married one day and have a family?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah, I want a lot of kids.
You want a lot?
Yeah.
You know, we need white babies.
Okay. Yeah.
Did you know I started White History Month?
No. What, do you go through like all the white countries?
Well,
yeah, like I'm Irish and German. Do we get like a day or a week in the month? Or how do you
July is White History Month.
Okay, so July is white.
And we just celebrated, last July, we celebrated our 5th year of White History Month.
So I just want to know, like, I'm Irish, German, Lithuanian, Welsh, and Polish. I'm like all the white countries.
You're totally white.
Yeah. So I just wanted to know, like, do we get like each day we talk about a different like white country?
We talk about
nice.
different things that white people did to make the world great.
Yeah.
And I started in July because you got to admit, July just feels white.
Yeah, okay, I could see that.
Vacation.
It's not, but it's not a good month for white people because we get sunburned.
Yeah, I heard.
You see, yeah.
Yeah, but it's vacation. It's the 4th of July. It's reflection time.
Oh, okay.
Reflect on the country. It's like you slow down and really, it's just white.
Yeah. I can see that.
You see that?
Yeah.
So will you be celebrating with us now, from now on?
Yeah, sure.
And so what I'm trying to do is encourage white people to make more babies, get married.
Do you know what snowflake is?
Yes.
Would you consider yourself a snowflake?
I mean, no, but I feel like some people would consider me as a snowflake,
Just by nature of the fact that you just said what you said.
Correct.
Okay, so here, I'm going to give, but are you saying that, or, here, I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to give the three of you a really good example. Imagine, like, you see someone with an ACAB hat, all cops are bastards, and I'm like, first off, how would you wear that? And secondly, who are you going to call when someone breaks into your house? You gonna call your Uncle Joe? You gonna call your liberal friends and be like, hey, can you bring some like weed and some beer over here for these guys? They got guns pointed at my head and like, I don't really know what to do. You're not gonna, don't call the police because they're all you know? Wait, is that unfiltered? Wait, is that off the hook? Was that too unfiltered? Can I make that joke? Like, Asians are getting beat up all over the place. I knew people of Asian ancestry who were
See you later, random. That was a good one, bro. We're going to watch this and then we're going to call it a day. And I'll be back later on today. So here we go.
Yeah, so the topic is, what should I not say in here?
The purpose of these discussions are, in my view, to figure out what things are good, bad, what should be supported, and that the good faith discussions like these can be used as a platform in order to posit opinions that simply are bad, like or wrong.
I got a perfect one.
With the this purpose of discussion as a medium to discuss what is good and what is bad. Some people may bring up topics that are purely used to posit an opinion that is wrong or bad.
Or harmful to somebody.
Or harmful, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, like some examples of these.
Oh, my bad. Sorry, I was muted. Hey, Shawnee. My bad. Sorry, guys. Mic check. Shawnee or Shani, sorry. Hope I didn't butcher your name, but I'm going to the gym after this. It's leg day today. I'm gonna go do that. I'm gonna go do a good sauna and all that other stuff and do some swimming. And I'll be back. I'm assuming right around like 3 or 4 California time, Pacific time. So yeah, we'll see somewhere around there, I'm guessing. Benjamin Hopkins, love the medication you bring and my meds blaze on. You the man. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you, man. Hell yeah. Appreciate you guys. That was we had a fun day today. And then we'll have some more fun later today. And we got more. We want to get JLP on some more and have Jesse talk to us a little more about a great white hope. That was good, dude. That was so funny. Oh, I enjoyed it, man. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. But good, man. Thanks for all the dialogue, guys. It was so good. I really enjoyed our chat today.
I mean,
I'm going to give a really good example.
Okay, no, you go ahead.
Bella, do you have one?
One example I would say is probably politics is the biggest one. I feel like a lot of people use politics as a segue to kind of just insult people. Politics is something that everyone has their own.
Guys, I'm down if you guys want to be mods at some point. I do need a mod because I do miss some of the kind of things that are happening in the chat. So I'm definitely down. Let me know if you want to be a mod. If you do, just I guess you got to message me somehow. If you follow me on Instagram, send me a DM on Instagram. send me a DM on Instagram, and then let me know your Instagram name so I could follow you back, or else I won't see it because I get lots of notifications on Instagram. Guys, this is my IG right here. Let me just scroll down to it. This is my IG, so if you do pull it up, look at this profile. This is the right one. Crossfires, dude, jump on my IG. State line is down. Got a couple people that are down, so at some point soon I got to get mods going because we're at that point, man. I'm juggling so many things while I'm doing this. You know, it's tough. You just saw me fumble my mic was muted. So are you supporting that handle? I don't use IG. Dang it. Okay. I don't know how I would. How can I message you guys somehow on YouTube, or how can we chat on YouTube? I don't know, but I gotta get this going, guys, because at some point I do need it. Whoever's down. Is there a way to do like messaging on YouTube here? There's no like DM on YouTube. You could email me, medi@medicationlive.com. Yeah, I guess you could just do an email. Yeah, let me put my emails on my channel page, but I'll put it in the chat real quick. There's my email. It comes off a little weird in the chat right there, but it's on my. If you go to my main channel page, then you can just click on where it says links and where it says link, and just go to view email address, or if you go to like the description, yeah, medi@medicationlive.com. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Yeah, hit me up. Let me know, guys. I definitely got to get some mods going. We're at that point. All right, cool. Let's go back.
Opinions on, and that's something that we have to, respect. But when people start to bring in, I guess, viewpoints and opinions that are just downright like hurtful to other people, just to kind of prove that like they're right and they're thinking and that their side of politics is the only right side, I think that's where a lot of conversations start to get heated, because everyone's they just want to prove their point right and they don't want to hear anyone out, so they just start attacking character instead of bringing up facts.
Okay, listen, I'm going to ask you a question. Do you know what snowflake is?
Yes.
Would you consider yourself a snowflake?
I mean, no, but I feel like some people would consider me as a snowflake,
Just by nature of the fact that you just said what you said.
Correct.
Okay, so here, I'm going to give, but are you saying that, or, here, I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to give the three of you a really good example. So, immigrants, undocumented immigrants. So the United States is not the only nation in the world that has undocumented immigrants. Everybody does. People cross over borders and they find ways to sneak in or get into other countries in some nefarious way. They overstay visas, they do all sorts of things, and they decide, hey, I'm going to stay there. So this is not just a U.S. thing, okay? Iran right now, if you study, Iran's dealing with undocumented immigration. Lots of Afghans, lots of Pakistanis, lots of Syrians. Like, they're really struggling to decide, what are we going to do with all these people who are undocumented here, right? So they're in the same position, okay? When our leadership starts talking about undocumented immigrants in the United States who are violent and committing crimes and committing all the crimes and committing so much violence and committing all of these things, the dangerous undocumented immigrants, and they use that in that way, it's like you're amping up the rhetoric in ways that are really not just problematic, but first off, that are problematic. but are also mean and are also wrong. Undocumented immigrants everywhere in the world have the lowest crime rates. And that doesn't take a rocket scientist or a brain surgeon to figure out. If you're undocumented, you want to hide. Man, you don't want any connection to law, to the law enforcement, to the authorities, like nothing. And across the board in the United States, undocumented immigrants have the lowest crime rates of people in this country, okay? Now, just because you see the headline of the news about this guy that murders a young college student down in South Carolina or North Carolina or Virginia, wherever it was, which is horrific and terrible, it's like, oh my God. But we're not interested in this class in singular examples. This is a sociology class. We're interested in the trends. So that would be a perfect example of just wrong information. That's who's it problematic for?
Say again?
What's that? Who is it problematic for? Like when people put that narrative out there.
Who is it problematic for?
Why? How is it problematic?
It's problematic for the people that are affected, the illegal immigrants that are, through this use of radicalization of the populace, are thrust out from their communities, their children, and also the communities that they were in, which they may have been an integral part of in many ways.
Hey, wait, hang on. That's a leftist. That's like a leftist liberal response to that question. All right. So all right. You would give the same one. Give me another reason why it's problematic.
I was just going to say it's...
Wait, hang on. Because the people who don't think that's a problem, they didn't even listen to Gavin. They're just like, dude, you're just this radical leftist. We don't give a damn what you say. Speak to them. Give them something that...
Okay, here's my thing with illegal immigration and everything. No one that I guess is I'm not even going to say for illegal immigration, is denouncing the fact that they came here illegally. It's never an argument that, yeah, they didn't come here legally. It's the fact that maybe they can't. They are in certain situations, and I'm never saying that, it's easy to come into the U.S. It's very hard for a lot of people, especially people that are native, don't speak English, everything like that. But I think it's very problematic just for people that want to come to the U.S. in general, legally, illegally, because of the way that they see that we treat people. And when you have like ASMR videos about people getting deported and everything, it doesn't make the U.S. seem like it's very welcoming with open arms, because if you don't come here or you're not already here, then, to hell with you.
Okay, all right. Okay, so that's a fair one. I'm going to give you, do you have a reason?
When we're talking about something like this, it often portrays a light on a large society or maybe caste or section, which kind of puts them into a stereotype, which might not be true for the entire society, but which might be true for certain individuals. But because those individuals have been have been shined a light on, or they've been comment a light, the majority seems to think that that entire sector, that entire part of society is exactly like them.
Okay. Yep, I got you. Yep. Here's another, and the fact is, you've got the Pew Research, they just estimated that right now we have 13 to 14 million undocumented people in the U.S., which has not changed very much since I was studying it 40 years ago. But the other side is, you can't fix the problem if you don't understand who the people are. So this is what I mean about you do the left thing, like, oh, these are human beings, and we should treat them better. People don't care. A lot of people don't give a damn about that. They're here illegally, man. Like, that's it. Get out. But what I would say is, you're not going to fix the problem when you're just like throwing out all this information that's wrong, and everybody starts chasing the problem over here when in fact you're missing it. That's not what's going on here. These aren't the people who are committing all the crimes. These aren't the people who you imagine they are. So you're going to have to go back and reevaluate and figure out how we're going to solve this. That's a way to speak to people who are all about law and order.
Sure. Yeah.
All right. Hey, by the way, I want to pause a second. Does somebody else have just something? Just forget this whole conversation that we're doing. Does someone else want to raise their hand and give us something that I should not talk about in this classroom?
I think kind of similarly to the immigration topic, just saying all police are bad and we should defund the police. It's one of those very black and white issues that people
exactly.
tend to push towards one political group.
That's all the military is bad. All the police are bad. All ACAB, all cops are bad, right? You ever see that? ACAB? Anybody parents are police officers? Anyone whose parents are police officers? One? Imagine you see someone with an ACAB hat, all cops are bad, and I'm like, first off, how would you wear that? And secondly, who are you going to call when someone breaks into your house? You going to call your Uncle Joe? You going to call your liberal friends and be like, hey, can you bring some weed and some beer over here for these guys? They got guns pointed at my head and I don't really know what to do. Don't call the police because they're all bad. Wait, bro, go ahead, man.
I don't think we should treat any type of hatred as an opinion because it is, but it's wrong.
But then what's hatred? What's hatred, right?
This specifically what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about I hate this guy because he killed my dad. That's different. I'm talking about unsolicited hatred.
Here, let me give you an example. So a number of years ago, there was a campaign called Stop Asian Hate because under COVID, so many people of East Asian ancestry were getting attacked. So everybody kept talking about attacks, the hate, the attacks on Asians, and then the stories they told were stories where people, got beat up or something like that. Stop Asian hate, and it was all over the news, right? And then I started investigating, and what I found was that, 94% of the hate directed at Asians was just people calling someone a name. And I'm like, wait, hang on a second. I started asking people, everyone thinks that hate is people getting beat up. Asians are getting beat up all over the place. I knew people of Asian ancestry who were afraid to leave their homes because they didn't want to get attacked. And yet, the vast majority was just people calling someone a name. I'm like, so when you say hate, I'm like, wait, hang on a second. Is that hate? It is hate, but it's is it really hate? You know what I mean? Is that hate? It's if you could call the name, you're like, oh, hey, I experienced a hate crime at Penn State or whatever. It's I don't know, it's a question, so you see what I mean? Even there, it's shit.
It depends on what you're calling them. Are you calling them? And it's also it's defined. Hatred's defined by the society around you. You're not gonna really get a satisfying answer. Because it's defined sociologically.
No, but you define it the way you want. If I want to define it, if I think I can get people to be hate, it means you're beating people up. And I think I can get you to do that, and I keep saying hate. Knowing that that's what you're thinking, that's pretty uncool, man. When in fact it's you're yelling at somebody. Which I'm not saying people of Asian ancestry, it should be okay to yell and name call people of Asian ancestry. Bro, I'm not saying that. You're all good. Right? It's just let's be fair to this.
Okay, guys, that was a good one. We're going to close with that one, and we're going to save some of these other videos for when I come on later today. I'm guessing it'll be around 3 to 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That was a great session. We had a fun chat. Bro, that was insane. And we'll keep going. That was really good. We got to get some more Jesse Lee Peterson. I think we all enjoyed that. And the Great White Hope. Yeah. Hell yeah. Good one, man. Good one today. Thank you, dude. Appreciate you guys. Thanks again for everyone that's part of the conversation. Whether we agree or don't agree, it's all good. Love to have the dialogue. Awesome, guys. Thank you again. And I'll see you guys in a few. I'm going to go do leg day and do some swimming and do some sauna and steam room and all that kind of stuff. And I'll see you guys soon. Go work out today. Go do some stuff, and we'll get back on later. See you guys. Peace.